that's going out and represent PA well.
Okay, last year, not a lot of points scored. With your receivers, people are thinking that will not be the case this time. What do you think in terms of how high scoring this might be?
Well, we're going to try to light up the scoreboard. That's our goal. We have a lot of athletes. You know, I think the only thing that may slow us down if we get in the way as coaches. So we're going to let the athletes play and get after it.
All right, we'll see how much you end up doing, but good luck no matter what.
Thanks.
All right, guys, back to you.
Now let's turn to Doug Duvall, the former head coach at Wild Lake High School in Columbia, Maryland, and you got the Maryland players. Tell me about ones to watch on offense.
Well, you know, the game's a game of quarterbacks. We've got a kid, Colin Schlee. He's a very good player. I think he's got the nod, but we got a couple really good quarterbacks. And then on defense, we have a guy, Sam Alshamir, linebacker, going to Towson University, all over the field. Great defensive player, state heavyweight wrestling champ, just a real good athlete. Covered a lot of ground.
Joel D. Smith spoke with the Maryland coach.
All right, game day is finally here. Coach, you've had these guys for a few days. Do you have the feel of them yet? Can you tell they're ready?
Yeah, they're ready. They were on the bus 20 minutes before we were supposed to depart at the high school. They have a focused face on. Everybody's healthy. We had 3 days of good practices, and we're ready. We received the kickoff, so we got to have a quick start, put some points up on the board, and then control it. You know, hopefully this weather here, doesn't slow us down with the heat.
Right. The other team has guys that can fly. You get your DBs ready to roll?
Yeah, they're ready to go. Everybody's ready to play the game. Hey, there's 2 teams out here. They got to play. We'll play. We'll see what happens.
All right, good luck to you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, we'll send it back to you.
So the stage is set. The 62nd annual Big 33 game, Pennsylvania versus Maryland from Harrisburg, is next. Stick around, everybody. And welcome back to Landis Field in Harrisburg for the 62nd annual Big 33 game. Here's the kickoff. Colton McGee for Pennsylvania. And he hangs it up kind of high. It's going to come down on the 15-yard line to Desmond Shell. And Shell swarmed immediately, dropped at about the 24-yard line. And a big hit at midfield. Guys that were hitting right away in this game, right?
They really were. You saw them come.
So they're hitting right away here, Doug.
Mario Goings You know, he's just a real tough kid. He's a good linebacker. You'll see him a lot in here out of Oakdale. He and one of the boys got into it there a little bit.
Actually, not a bad kick by Colton McGee there. Got some hang time, let his kickoff team get down the field.
So here comes Maryland for the first time. That's Colin Schley at quarterback out of Oakdale High School in the Frederick area. And there's an offsides. And Doug, you coach in this game. You've coached in all-star games before. Things like that are going to happen, aren't they?
They do. And Bruce, this time we're up here with a little bit shorter practice period. This time up in Hershey because of Memorial Day and kids still being in school. So that's a tough one, but they'll settle down and start to play.
And you always see here the wide receiver to quarterback combination is hard to get used to, and also the offensive line gelling together.
Absolutely. Adam Brenneman, Doug Duvall, Bruce Cunningham, Joel D. Smith on the sidelines bringing you Big 33 action from Harrisburg. Schley looking downfield, lets it fly, gets it out past the 20. They're going to mark that at the 22. That's going to be short, well and short of the first down as Maryland continues to struggle here in the early going.
I think they just want to get a little rhythm going, hit that out, but you can see he can rifle that ball. Two really good quarterbacks in the game today for Maryland and Pennsylvania.
Now, Adam, Maryland won this game last year, and you guys up here aren't used to that, right?
Yeah, Pennsylvania normally dominates the Big 33 game, but we had one of the best games we've seen in a while last year.
Oh, yeah, it was terrific. So second and about 12, Schley.
He's got a little, so he can take off and run with it. He's a good athlete.
And they read that. He gets across the 25 out to about the 27. That's going to bring up third, and let's call it 3rd and 7.
He's pretty comfortable in those positions, Bruce. We saw him in the state finals.
In Maryland,
Yeah, when he has to take off, he can really go.
Now, Adam, you were telling me before the game there are preset run and pass percentages for this game, right?
It looks like every team has to pass the ball 40% of the time. So we'll see both teams hopefully airing it out a little bit today.
We're just underway here in a beautiful day in Harrisburg.
Couldn't be prettier for high school football.
Absolutely. Nice crowd. This is a nice little thing for late May. This is unusual, but it's fun. So 3rd and 7 from the 27.
Back out.
Schley, pocket collapses, got a man, overthrew him.
That was a tough one.
He was running for a long time if that was completed.
Yeah.
That pass was intended downfield for Jabriel Johnson out of McDonough in Baltimore, and that's going to bring up 4th down. And now we'll see Maryland's kicking game for the first time.
Justin Ritter, I think it's going to be our punter. And it's nice this year we have designated kickers and punters and also designated long snapper.
So he will kick it from the 15. Let's call it the 17. Hangs it up. And it's going to bounce around the 40.
You better watch.
And Pennsylvania touched it. The ball is loose.
It is hard to call from here.
Not a very smart play there.
No. He wasn't thinking that way.
So Pennsylvania does remain. I mean, I guess you get excited in an all-star game. You want to show what you have, right?
It's an all-star game. Those kind of things happen here.
Doug, as a coach, he went silent when you heard that.
Well, it's not his own high school coach, because I can tell you now if that happens, you on the sideline, you know.
All right, Adam, who are we looking at out here for Pennsylvania? At quarterback, it's Cade Pribula.
Pribula is a special player going to Delaware. He's had a really good week of practice.
Got a little trade there. There's no adjustment. That's for the rules here, but we got a little rollout. He's going to
look at that. And he's dropped back at the 20-yard line.
You know, he's going to Shepherd. His name is Perry, and he's a brawler. He's a barroom brawler, that kid. He's tough.
Joe Perry, Westminster High, suburban Baltimore, and as Doug mentioned, going to Shepherd University in West Virginia, and that's a big loss right there. That's going to go down for 11 yards, so that'll bring up 2nd and 21. Maryland in the white, Pennsylvania in the blue and gold.
They had some people coming open if they hadn't sacked him. That was a big play by Joe Perry.
And there's the draw, and that's read immediately. It's 2 plays in, Doug, but Maryland is swarming on defense.
They are fast on defense, and they got some great big guys up front. It's the first time that we really match up with Pennsylvania size-wise. I mean, if I went down the route, you're looking 330, 285, 315, 300, 315. So we got some big boys up front that can play. But the one Robert Garrett, number 40, he's going to create something happening here. He just got very good blocking by the left tackle for Pennsylvania. But old Roberts, he's giving them, there's a game right here right in front of us, 40 and the left tackle.
Khalil Gary out of Wise High School was the one making the play on the line. And again, the pocket collapses, and now he goes downfield, and look at that. Right in the hands at the 40-yard line, and he can't hang on. He's going to be haunted by that one for a while. That was Nazar Burnett just couldn't get underneath that, but boy, he was gone there, Adam.
Yeah, that's a catch you got to make in these kinds of games. And Burnett's a Georgia Tech signee from Bishop McDevitt, local kid right here. I bet he wishes he had that one back.
He'll be thinking about that one before he goes to sleep tonight, won't he?
That's the biggest concern coming into this game is Pennsylvania's receivers.
Yeah, Pennsylvania has 4 receivers who are Division I, 3-star, 4-star recruits. It should be airing it out a little bit today on the Pennsylvania side.
So the Maryland defense did hold, and Pennsylvania going to punt now. The snap is high, but he comes down with it.
Ooh,
oh, that's a gorgeous punt.
Desmond Shell's underneath it, fair catching it. They didn't communicate very well, but it could be a break for Maryland.
Yeah.
Oh, nope.
Fair whistling it did. Brevin Easton out of Archbishop Spalding kind of came out and grabbed it from him, but fair catch had already been called, so that's where Maryland will go to work. Again, it's unfamiliarity in general. You know, things like that are going to happen. So we've seen one offensive series from each. Can we draw any conclusions, gentlemen?
Good players. You know, both of them could just missing a little bit, you know, and that once they settle into the rhythm and get going a little bit, they'll be fine.
And it always takes the offense a little bit longer to gel than the defense. The defense always looks better the first day of practice than the offense.
By definition, right? From the 28-yard line now, first down for Maryland. Schlee remains at quarterback. There's the handoff around the left side and room to run. Look at this, across the 40, the 50, the 40, the 30. They're going to drag him down just short of the 20-yard line, and that was Wande Owens out of Glenelg High School. And he's going to Yale to play his college football.
Great kid, bright kid, does it all. I mean, he is the second leading rusher in the state of Maryland forever. And he was the player of the year in Howard County last 2 years. Great family, great kid. Saw him play when he was 5 years old.
How about that?
He's something special. He's just a wonderful kid.
He just got outside and he just went upfield.
He runs pretty well for a big guy, Doug.
He did that all year long for the last 3 years. People hated to see Owande with the ball.
From the 19 now, Maryland threatening. And they try the same play, the same side, and Pennsylvania sniffs it out that time.
We didn't get the push on the left side that we needed there.
As Jabriel Johnson out of McDonough, and it's going to go no gain. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. We're at the 18-yard line.
That's great field position to be down in there. So
it looks like Deontay Nichols, the defensive end for Pennsylvania, was stuffing the line there, and he had a really exciting week of practice. I saw him the other day. He was competitive. He was yelling. He was chirping. Those guys were having fun being out there.
He's excited just watching them line up out there. He's across from a kid, Trey, who played up at Ligonor High School, good player, also going to Shepherd.
There's a handoff in the backfield again, and they read it that time. He gets down to the 16-yard line, and that's all he's going to get there. There is no score in the Big 33 game. We'll be back from Harrisburg with more right after this. Stick around, everybody.
Hi, I'm Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf. Once again, Pennsylvania is proud to host the Big 33 Football Classic, the Super Bowl of high school football. The Big 33 has a tremendous history, and we welcome all of the players, the families, and parents from across Pennsylvania and Maryland this Memorial Day. And the Big 33 is more than the big game. It's a chance to celebrate the accomplishments of all of the high school all-stars and enjoy a holiday weekend packed with festivities, fun, food, and more. If you're visiting from out of town, I hope you check out the amazing sights here in central Pennsylvania. Congratulations to all the players. We look forward to another spectacular game and, of course, another Pennsylvania win.
Bring up the heat!
We develop quality citizens who keep our core, our country, and our communities side by side on the winning side. Not for glory, but for honor. For a code that isn't written or spoken, but lived. It's what we do. It's who we are. It's the battle cry of our fighting spirit. Battles won. See all the battles Marines fight to win at marines.com.
And there's the crowd taking a look at the Big 33 game. We got a nice turnout here at Landis Field in Harrisburg. Maryland jumped off sides. The offensive lineman a little bit of a problem there.
I think that was the center, a little miscommunication.
That's a way back.
Tough penalty down in there. Tough penalty.
They always say the one thing you can't do in the red zone, jump off sides.
That's the truth.
So Maryland here, 3rd and 12 from the 21. Colin Schlee of Oakdale High, Frederick County.
Great blocking by the O-line. Here's where this kid really
signaling.
Look at that. He's amazing what he does with the ball.
He got it off, but it was out of bounds. And that's going to bring up 4th down for Maryland. Doug, can Maryland kick a field goal?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Tell me about the kicker.
He's going to West Virginia, and he kicked for Towson this year. 4-year kicker, all county, all state, that sort of thing. And he's also the all county punter. So, I mean, he can do it both, but he's got a leg on him. And the plus for this, Bruce, is we are now taking long snappers too. So, I mean, the ball gets zipped back there. The rule is you can rush the rush the kicker through the A gap, but you can't hit the center. So we'll see what happens.
A kicker on the high school level, Adam, is such a weapon, you know? Because not
it's
everybody
so rare
has
to find.
Yep.
So rare. Looks like they're going for this.
They are going for it.
Oh, they are. Yes, they are.
4th and 13 from the 22. Schlee out of the
shotgun.
shotgun.
Up. He's got
down
a touch
a sideline.
And I think he's got, he had it in his hand. That's a tough one.
Looked like a little bit of hand fighting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. The intended receiver.
Cedar Smith. Going to West Virginia. Wild Lake kid, had it in his hands.
And very well defended, too. Watch the replay here. And he's all over him. That's really good defense there from Marlon Devonshire of Aliquippa High. We talk about a famed high school program, Aliquippa. We could talk all day, couldn't we, Adam?
The very best. They have a few players here today.
I'm sure they do.
Devonshire going to the University of Kentucky.
It's probably an unusual day when there's not a lot of Aliquippa kids in this game,
For sure.
I mean, we're talking Dorsett. We're talking Mike Ditka.
Got a little back out on the side.
Down the sideline.
There's the coverage question. Nice coverage that time.
Yeah, the blanket coverage there for Maryland from A.J. Woods out of Northwest. He's one of your Pitt guys. He'll play at University of Pittsburgh next year. And Yusuf Terry was the intended receiver out of Imhotep.
There it is. It looks like Pennsylvania has Kane Everson in at quarterback now.
Okay.
He is going to William & Mary from Harrisburg High School. And he's probably a better athlete than he is quarterback, actually not playing quarterback at William & Mary.
We need to get a little pressure on the quarterback. I think number 4. There you go.
Oh, look at the defense.
They can play now.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys leading the charge, but the first guy I saw up there for Maryland was Jay Thompson out of Franklin High School in Baltimore County, 3-time state champion while he was at Franklin.
He's seen a lot of football.
He has.
Good athlete, does a lot of things well. He can really roll.
So we're 6-minute mark of the first quarter. There is no score as both teams feeling each other out. Joel D. Smith is down on the sideline. Joel D., I just said they're feeling each other out. It's pretty obvious at this point, isn't it?
Yeah, you can listen to Wande Owens right here, right now. Tell me what you saw in that big run you had.
I got the handoff. I got to the outside, and my receiver on the left side doing a great job blocking. I ran past him, and I saw daylight, but I saw some people out the peripheral. I stumbled a little bit, but got a big play.
And that was run of us, another big play right here. Are you thinking it's going to take a lot of points to win this thing?
I think it's going to be a defensive battle. Both defenses are really strong, and you see it. No one scores.
That was a big play on that pass.
All right, guys, it's right in front of us. Looked like it was into me, so we'll see what the replay shows. Back to you.
As Nazir Burnett was the receiver and the new quarterback for Pennsylvania, Adam, tell me about him. He's a little guy.
Yeah, he's a small guy. He is such a great athlete, one of the best athletes in the state. Was pretty highly recruited across the 1AA level, and like I said, will not be playing quarterback at William & Mary, but he'll make an impact there.
Absolutely.
Playing for a good coach, left-hander. See if they can stretch you. Oh, very nice recovery.
Yeah, that was William Gibson, another one of the Aliquippa guys. William & Mary plays in that CAA, which is probably the best FCS division in the country, I would think. And he's going to see some good football down there.
Kane Everson transferred from Central Dauphin East to Harrisburg for his senior year and led Harrisburg to the runner-up for the state championship.
number 57 on that defensive line, Okambi from Montgomery Blair. He's a tough kid too, hard to move. Nice trap block, keep it on.
Good read there, and he's going to yank it back in. Is Kane Everson, and he gets around, and he will pick up the first down.
I think they got clipping, but I'm not sure.
And we got a little extracurricular in midfield. We got a helmet on the ground.
You don't normally see fights like that in an all-star game.
No.
We were talking earlier, this is more than an all-star game. These kids have looked forward to playing in this for a long time now.
Yeah. Plus, let's be honest, Adam, the revenge factor is in play here for Pennsylvania, obviously.
It definitely is. I think last year was an embarrassment for a lot of the Pennsylvania kids, and we could have a little bit of a competitive game today.
So we're seeing a little bit of that right now, wouldn't you say?
Well, Maryland's been playing Pennsylvania for 15 years.
That call is against Maryland. And it's gonna go deep within Maryland territory. They're gonna go down around, let's call it the 34-yard line. So that one hurts right there, guys.
It has to be a personal foul. I didn't see the penalty.
Say hands to the face is what the call was. And so Pennsylvania is set up well here.
Yeah, that was a gift they were just given. They were looking at 3rd and long.
All-star games have a way of going back and forth like that.
From the 34, Pennsylvania threatening. And we have a whistle and a timeout, Pennsylvania. No score from Landis Field in Harrisburg. We'll be back with more of the Big 33 All-Star Game right after this. Veteran Pennsylvania high school coach Gary Cathell has taken over as the executive director of the Big 33 game. I spoke to him moments ago. Now we're going to keep it right here. Pennsylvania from the 34. There's the snap and the rush. Boy, he can move. Still takes a loss, and there were some hits over there on the sideline. That was Everson Kane, as we've been saying. But boy, he showed some quickness right there.
And that's part of what makes Kane Everson so special, his ability to get out of a play that should have been a 10-yard loss and ends up being about a 2-yard loss because of his athletic ability.
Doug, I'm impressed with the Maryland defense thus far.
Well, the big number 55, Khalil, out of Wise High School, he just folded that side of the line over there. I mean, they really do come off the ball, and the 3 linebackers have been just all over the place. Not a pretty tight coverage for this situation. So he's got to see if he goes down that side. He was a little, oh, well.
That was a misread, and that's going to happen in all-star games.
Yeah.
All right, now let's talk to the executive director of the Big 33.
Got a penalty.
We're joined now by the executive director of the Big 33 game, Coach Gary Cathell. And Gary, all this work you've put in, it's finally here. I mean, are you feeling it yet?
Well, if you're not prepared before the game day, then you're going to be running around nervous. I'm not nervous at all. We prepared, and this is the fun day. We're so excited that we have a wonderful weather day, and that I really think we're going to have a great crowd for the game tonight.
That preparation, that's a coach talking right there, isn't it?
That's right. That's right. You get it done during the week. If you're nervous coming in, that means you're going to be nervous for the game. We're not nervous for the game.
What a festive atmosphere out here with the stuff for the kids. It's kind of a football festival in May. This is really unique.
Yeah, it's really neat. With it being the holiday, first of all, I got to thank everybody that's involved, from the media, from your station, all the way to all the for coming on a holiday weekend and taking part in this. And you're right, it is a festive occasion, and we really want to make this weekend be something that everybody plans to come to every year.
Well, we certainly look forward to it, and it's great to make your acquaintance. I know you got a lot to do today.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Gary. All right.
2nd and 7. Everson looking downfield, sees a man, lets it fly, and he scores. Touchdown. The pass complete to Yusuf Terry out of Imhotep, and Pennsylvania strikes first in the Big 33.
What a throw by Kane Everson, and Yusuf Terry, one of the best receivers in the country, going to Baylor. Matt Rule is getting a special player at Baylor next year.
You were telling us this Pennsylvania receiving corps was special. We're seeing it really early in this game.
Yeah, we got a few really good receivers. Obviously, Terry. You got William Gibson from Clippa going to Pittsburgh. Nazir Burnett from McDevitt. All 3- and 4-star players.
Well, that was nice because he was under pressure. He was getting a lot of pressure from the outside backer putting the heat on him. So it was nice to be able to throw that thing up like he did. Andre Jules from Northwest was all over.
Anthony De Silva out of Bethlehem Catholic, the kicker. He gets the extra point, and Pennsylvania jumps out 7-0 in the Big 33. Now, Doug, you coached this game. It's obvious that Maryland has got to answer this in a hurry.
Well, I'm not sure it's a hurry, Bruce, but they do have to answer it. There's really only been a couple really solid offensive plays. That was one. That one earlier, we had a run and that sort of stuff. But it's early. It's 3-11 in the first quarter. So I think, and Maryland's looked good defensively, and they've had pretty good offense, and Pennsylvania has been solid both sides of the ball. So it's a good all-star game. I'm guessing there's going to be 3 touchdowns on each side.
What do you think, Adam?
Having a guy like Yusuf Terry makes your job at quarterback pretty easy, doesn't it? Just throw the ball up in the air, and a guy like him goes and gets it. He's 6'4".
All right, let's go downstairs. Joel D. Smith on the sideline.
Hey, guys, we're here with Kane Everson right now. You saw him early. I saw you point to him. What was going through your head as you're making that rollout?
He beat the corner off rip. That wasn't the intended route, but I seen he beat him, so I was trying to tell him to get upfield to the end zone so I could put it up for him. He can go and get the ball over just about anybody.
I mean, how juicy is it to watch those wide receivers go, and you've had a little bit of practice with them, and then you see what they can do in the game?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like you playing with players that's just as good, if not better than you. And it's just a good experience. I'm happy I'm out here with these guys.
Going to take some points to win this thing, you think?
I don't know. Our defense looking pretty solid right now, so I want to score more points, though. So either way, we go.
You'll take him. Hey, great throw out there. Good job. All right, guys, back to you.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, he wants to see more points. Never met a quarterback that didn't, huh?
Shell, Brevin, and Dawkins.
There's
Looks like Shell's got it.
Taking on
got
the
to pick
20.
up front. Got one more go to break. Nice return.
40, crosses the 45. They're going to mark him down at the 46. So Maryland answers, and again, they're chippy after the play. Getting up a little aggressive.
We said earlier, it is a lot more in the game. And, we've been in the game, Maryland, for 15 years. We were in it for 7. Now we've been back in again for 6. And of the 6, we've won 2 of them. So, the numbers are pretty good. We won last year, and we won 2 years before that. So it's evened out. Pennsylvania really helped Maryland by bringing us into this game. Made Maryland football a lot more legitimate.
So from the 46, here comes Maryland. Schlee still in at quarterback. He's working out of the shotgun yet again, and there's the handoff, and he loses his footing. Trying to turn the corner on the left side. That was Devin Dawkins out of Howard High School in Howard County, Maryland.
It's like Gage Hill, the defensive tackle for Pennsylvania out of Altoona, going to Toledo, was in the backfield there, made him slip up a little bit. He's one of our players to watch today.
You wonder how a wide receiver from Pennsylvania ends up at Baylor, and then all of a sudden the name pops up. Matt Rule, who was the coach for years at Temple, a great coach, great recruiter, great guy, Penn State guy, Matt Rule. And he's got himself a good receiver.
2nd and 12 from the 44. And Schlee with the fake handoff goes around the left side, and he's going to get down to around the 47. That's going to be a pickup of about 5. And again,
gotta fight.
again.
Well, I don't know if it's a fight, little jumping around.
Little fight never hurt anyone.
Well, it gets them tuned up a little, you know. And when you talk about players, that kid Darius Wilson going to meet, you know, he's a 6'5", 315. Takes up a lot of room.
I know Dwayne Majors out of Conwell Egan Catholic was right in the middle of it. He was doing a few dance steps out there. Probably not appreciated by the Maryland team. But that's all right. Solid fun. Nobody gets hurt. 3rd and 8 from the 48. Maryland in its own territory as we get into the late stages of the first quarter here at the Big 33.
I got a feeling after watching Colin for years, he's going to pull something out here. He's got poise. He's running for his life right now, but
and he loses his footing down around a 46. That's going to be short of the first down. That'll bring up 4th down. And guys, this will be interesting because Maryland went for it on 4th down and chose not to kick a field goal, and now they're faced with a similar decision.
well, I think, you know, they're certainly out of field goal range. I think they will punt it though, and you know, just Pennsylvania's too good to let them take over at midfield if you don't get it. But I'll tell you what, a fake punt would not be out of the question here, like a little short snap or, you know, a little something. But I'm pretty sure Maryland's going to punt it away. But
If you're going to fake, it's going to happen right here.
yeah, yeah.
Now they're going to punt it. And it's taken about the 21-yard line, and then he stepped out. And again, I don't know, guys. We're seeing a lot of this early here.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
They might have to just they might have to take a little time and put the troops on the sideline and explain to them what's going on.
Let's go downstairs to Joel D. Smith. Joel D., it's pretty chippy down there, wouldn't you say?
I wouldn't think it's talking on the sidelines. This, I think, is game-oriented. They're not talking a lot on the sidelines like, hey, let's get them back, let's do this. I think it's just they're hitting hard. Maybe they haven't been hit hard in a while. I mean, these guys are not in football shape, and, hey, I remember how that hurts.
Adam, if you haven't been hit in 6 months, I guess it makes a difference.
That could be
It definitely does. And I was at Pennsylvania's practice on Saturday it was, and they were chippy at practice, Pennsylvania versus Pennsylvania. The offense was getting after the defense. Mark Lyons, the head coach, was calling plays for the offense. The defense was talking back to him. It was fun to watch.
Doug, as a coach, you don't mind a little chippiness now and then, right?
No, you want it, especially in an all-star game like this. In your regular season, there's always the motivation. But in this, you want them to know just how important it is.
And the pass was incomplete. They were looking to go out into the flats, and he underthrew it, so that'll bring up 2nd and 10 now.
Getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Number 40 just went rolling up in there, and you know, he's the kind of guy, Robert Garrett out of Franklin, he can put some heat on you.
You know, the line play on both sides of the football has been pretty good thus far.
Very good, Bruce, very good. If you like trench warfare, this is the place to be. I mean, you just, you know, I just don't watch where the ball goes. I watch those guys down inside.
That's where you and I differ.
They have been tearing it up.
Adam, did you ever hear a coach that didn't like the offensive line? And there's another one, and he's got him. Oh, my goodness. Across midfield. And that is going to be down at the 36-yard line, and they go way downfield to Yusuf Terry. We've seen him already. And, Adam, you warned us about this kid, and now we're seeing it.
Oh, he's a special player. But also, let's acknowledge Cade Prabula is back in the game at quarterback for Team PA. And that was a heck of a throw there. He's going to Delaware, and mentioned it earlier, he had shoulder surgery 5 months ago.
Unbelievable.
And was probably told not to play, and is here today because he said to me, I've dreamed of playing in this game for years. I'm not sitting this one out.
Good for him.
Delaware's been producing some good quarterbacks lately.
Not just lately. You can go back to Rich Gannon.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Flacco.
Now look at this, all over the field they're rolling.
At the end of the quarter, Pennsylvania leads Maryland 7-0. We'll be back with more from the Big 33 right after this. All right, we're back at Landis Field in Harrisburg, where we have seen a spate of fights in this game thus far. Joel D. Smith, you're on the sideline. You checked out both sidelines. What is going on down there?
Yeah, both sides, of course, think they're getting hit late and they're retaliating. But I was just over here with the Maryland guys. One of the captains brought everybody around. He said, stop retaliating, take the 10 yards, and move on. So hopefully that's going in the right direction. We won't see too much of this the rest of the half.
All right, thanks, Joel D. Guys up here, Adam and Doug, cooler heads have got to prevail here.
Well, it's true. You have high school kids, though. The officials have to jump on that. There was a couple things going on. They didn't even see it, but it's been mostly out on the outside on the perimeters. They got the 2 penalties. They marked them off as 30-yard personal foul. So we'll see if it doesn't calm it down a little bit.
I think we'd be less than honest if we didn't say we didn't expect to see this today.
We never expect to see this in a Big 33 game. It's not the nature of the game. It's supposed to be an all-star game. You show off talent, you play like crazy, and that's what it is. But I don't know what would cause the kids to play like this.
And as we said, this is more than an all-star game to so many of these players. And you're seeing the Maryland versus Pennsylvania competitiveness. And and they're going to see it in college, too. I've been in a locker room, and there are a lot of debates about Pennsylvania football versus Maryland football.
I'm sure there are. You spoke with Julie Walker before the game. Let's take a look at that.
Thanks. I am here with Julie Walker, the executive director of the Peyton Walker Foundation. Julie, you screened every single Pennsylvania player this year for heart problems. Tell me about that.
Yes, so we partnered up with Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Knowing that sudden cardiac arrest is the #1 killer of student athletes, it's so important for athletes to have their hearts checked. So we brought in a team from CHOP, gave heart screenings to every kid on the Pennsylvania team. Thankfully, everyone had a clean bill of health, but it's a program we want to continue growing with sudden cardiac arrest being the headline all too often.
You have a story that's so hits home for parents of young athletes. What is your message to them?
Well, kids often look healthy, but if they have not had a comprehensive heart screening, you don't know what truly is going on inside their heart. So we ask people to please, attend heart screenings, ask your physician for an electrocardiogram, find out truly what is going on, because often sudden cardiac arrest is preventable and detectable. So talk to your kids about the signs and symptoms: shortness of breath, lightheadedness, palpitations. Passing out is the #1 warning sign that there could be a hidden heart issue. So just educate yourself. PeytonWalker.org. Get some more information about sudden cardiac arrest.
A truly amazing story.
Back in Landis Field, we're about to start the second quarter. We have gotten things calmed down on the field, apparently. The referees paced off a lot of penalty yardage. And where we stand right now, it's going to be 2nd and 22 from the 48-yard line. That was a lot to sort out, guys.
It was. They did a good job on doing it, too. Hopefully, I think the thing will settle down. As I said, Bruce, earlier, it's been a lot of that wide-out D-back stuff, and they just got to get that under control. It doesn't seem like, of course, the big boys weighed in at the end and separated a lot of stuff. You saw a lot of bodies moving there.
So Pennsylvania inside Maryland territory. They lead this game 7-0, and now they're going to try the right side. Some blocking out front, and he's going to get up to around the 40-yard line. That was Aaron Young out of Coatesville.
And Aaron Young's a really good player, one of the best running backs in the state. They go into Rutgers. He decommitted from Michigan State. He's now going to Rutgers. He played for Coatesville and legendary Pennsylvania play caller Jim Cantafio. So he's played in a high-powered offense, and he'll be ready to go when he gets to Rutgers.
And let's be honest, there's opportunity at Rutgers for the right guy.
There's definitely opportunity, and Rutgers loves running the football. I think he'll have a very successful career, and he's a guy who's ready to play on day one.
3rd and 15 from the 40 now. Pennsylvania would love to add to that lead.
The corner on this side, Logic Hudson, number 9.
There was some really good pressure there, leading the charge for Maryland, Doug. Hold on, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that was leading the charge for Maryland. Coming in there was Robert Garrett out of Franklin High School.
Yep, and he's really putting the heat on. He's done it all year long. And also Davion Johnson out of Edgewood going to Monmouth.
Pennsylvania's offensive line is having a hard time keeping up with these pass rushers.
Yeah. It was
we knew going in that was the strength of the Maryland team, right?
Yes, and the deal is they've got to put so much pressure on the quarterback he doesn't have time to throw it, because the quarterback, both of them are good. Both of them have 4 really good receivers, so if you give them time, they're going to lay it up. And it's hard on those D-backs. We were talking about Logic Hudson made that tackle last time, number 9. I'd give him a lot more room than that. I wouldn't stay that close to him.
4th and long, and they're going outfield.
They intercepted
it. It's going to be
That's
intercepted.
a great catch.
And are they going to rule it an interception?
It was.
Okay, he threw the ball after he intercepted it, but yeah, they'll take it over at the 11-yard line.
That's a huge play.
Getting back there and making that interception for Maryland, Doug.
Number 12, it reached up, caught it, pulled that thing down. It was very impressive.
I think it was Alzheimer.
It was.
Yeah. Back in,
Sam Alzheimer, going to Towson.
Yeah.
Yep, good player.
Glenelg High School.
Heavyweight wrestling, 185-pound wrestling champ. Won the state in lacrosse, wrestling, and finished second in football. It's a pretty good senior year.
Looks like we could have had a hold on that play,
Yeah.
but these refs are letting these guys play, which is what you want in an all-star game.
Yeah, I mean, in the trenches, let them hold each other. It's not affecting the play of the game. And you got those offensive linemen. They're looking at some big boys. So you got to just get that stuff. Now, number 75, Adam Will out of Loyola, left guard on this side, is going to Dartmouth. Been recruited by Coach Shula, Don Shula's son. Great coach himself and a really good recruiter.
Former head coach of the Bengals.
Yes, sir.
And Maryland tried the right side and nothing doing. That was Jabril Johnson out of McDonough. He didn't pick up anything. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. The ball remains on the 11-yard line. Let's go downstairs to Joel D. Smith.
What did you see on that interception? You got up pretty high.
It was 4th down. I caught it, but then before I came down, I threw it. So, because the field position is terrible, so I don't know. I think it was a bad call, but
You were trying to go for the incompletion.
yeah, I didn't realize I was in the air. It was 4th down, so I threw it. But I guess the refs didn't see that, so.
You catch it even when you're trying not to.
I guess so.
Hey, one more question. It's getting a little chippy out there. What are you guys going to do to change that? Are you going to try to calm things down a little bit? What's the attitude right now?
We're trying to win a ball game. That's all. That's it.
All right, thanks, Joel D. Trying to right side is Maryland, and Pennsylvania just smothers that. The ball carrier for Maryland was Desmond Shell out of Milford Mill in suburban Baltimore, and might have picked up a couple of yards. That'll bring up 3rd and 6 from the 15.
I think you got a little bit more than that, Bruce. Looks like about 3rd and 4 now. That one play
they're
before.
changing it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's a big play here, 3rd and 4.
This is a down where they could run or pass this.
It's the truth. I'm just sitting here thinking they've got a little reverse pass play. Might be too early for trickeration for me, and especially in this part of the field. But they got a kid in there can make stuff happen. Might be a place for a quarterback draw. Lock him in between two things. There you go.
There it is.
There you go.
And he's got a block.
I think he got the
He's
first
going to
and
cross
some.
the 20. They're going to put him down at the 22-yard line, it looks like.
Good call. Good call.
And that is a 1st down for Maryland. First one of the game, if I'm not
Well,
mistaken.
and that's a kid, Ryan Lee, out of Ligonor High School, and running that quarterback, keep draw, whatever you call it. It's not new to him. He's good at it.
For our Pennsylvania viewers, the strength of Maryland high school football is in the central part of the state. You mentioned Linganore, the Frederick County area.
The Damascus, all up through there. And they've done a good job for years. And, you look at Colin Lee and Lane, they're playing 15 miles apart from one another. So
but the metropolitan areas are good, but the rural areas in the center of the state are the ones that are really producing the great
Well,
teams.
it's a lot like Maryland. Football is a lot like Pennsylvania in that area. You're going to fill the stadiums. They're going to be rocking and rolling on Friday night. They take football serious up there.
Ryan Lee out of Linganore in at quarterback now, and he was just the ball carrier.
It's the hardest thing to do on defense is the defensive quarterback who can run the ball. That's the 12th man. It's hard to do, especially in an all-star game when you're locked in there and you can read. And he can throw the ball, too. I mean, he can throw the ball 45 yards on the rope.
He did pick up a yard. That'll bring up 2nd and 9 now from the 24. If you're just joining us, this is the Big 33 All-Star Game, the 62nd annual. Maryland's All-Stars in the white, Pennsylvania in the blue and gold. Lee hangs it up there.
Oh.
And we had a little battle between number ones down there. Marlon Devonshire was the defensive back, and Brevin Easton the receiver.
Devonshire has been all over the field today. We've seen him make a few plays now. These Pennsylvania DBs are pretty good.
Pennsylvania leads 7-0. We're back with more right after this. Stick around, everybody.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law, but more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper. The recycling center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
For a place, a people, an idea, for right and freedom, for liberty and justice for all. For every square inch between fruited plains and spacious skies. Marines fight to win. See all the battles Marines fight to win at marines.com.
Introducing Stir. It's a new way to watch TV for free. It's live local news, it's live sports, it's movies, TV shows, cult favorites, the latest viral videos, and more. Just go to the App Store and download Stir to unlock a free lineup of TV channels and video on-demand programming, all stirred up into one easy-to-use app. It's free TV, anytime, anywhere.
You are back at Landis Field in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania for the Big 33 game, the 62nd annual. Pennsylvania leading Maryland 7-0 with 7:45 to play in the second quarter. Bruce Cunningham along with Adam Brenneman and Doug Duvall. And then downstairs we've got Joel D. Smith on the sidelines bringing you this all-star game, one of the best in the country.
It's really quite a rivalry. There's a company that was here all week that does big rivalry coverage, and they enjoyed this one.
3rd and 9 from the 24.
This
High
is a big
snap,
one.
but he handles it. Goes down the sideline and overthrew the intended receiver at midfield, and that'll bring up 4th down for Maryland.
They needed to make that 3rd down, but we'll see. They punted away, and we're about midway through the second quarter. Seems like the game settled down quite a bit, Bruce. Those coaches had a chance to get those kids and settle them down. That was good.
Well, they needed to.
Yeah,
Let's be honest, it was embarrassing.
It was.
You don't want to see that.
Especially in this game because it's important for both states.
Had a good play there by Tyke Smith, defensive back for PA. Coaches have been talking about him all week, and he locked down about every single receiver. And there's some pretty good receivers on this PA team. Locked them all down in practice.
And he got a low snap, but he fields it, hangs it up.
That's Justin Ritter out of Oakdale. Ooh, that takes a Maryland bounce.
Does it ever?
That's a ball you want to field.
Yeah.
It looks like they had ideas there for Pennsylvania. Marlon Devonshire was kind of hanging around, and it looked like he had a little bit of indecision. It looked like he wanted to pick that up for a second.
Doug can confirm this, but there's nothing that drives coaches crazier than not fielding punts.
Never
they lost about 15 yards there.
Oh my God. And nothing good happens when it hits the ground. Nothing good.
So that'll take it back to the 17-yard line for Pennsylvania.
Maryland needs a turnover. If the defense is going to step up, make something happen, now's the time. And they're capable, but they're physical and they can roll. I would give those wide receivers a little bit more coverage, though. I would give it about another 3 yards.
And there's a handoff, and again, Maryland looking stout up front, and that might be a gain of about a yard. Pennsylvania's finding the yards on the ground hard to come by, Adam.
Yeah, Avery Young got a few yards there, but they're going to need to pop a big run or a big pass here soon.
Ambush, number 43, Goings, number 19, and Alshimer, number 34, are just really banging that ball up in there. And Elijah Solomon from Franklin's we've seen many years, Bruce.
All-around player, very good player for Franklin.
When you look at that defensive front for Maryland, they are some big guys.
You'll be down here, and they'll just be in the end zone, in the wave.
Sniffed out. Oh, look at that. He got around him.
And that's part of what makes Kane Everson so good, those kind of plays.
I can see, because I tell you, for Maryland, Jay Thompson was in there. He had it read, and he just scooted right past him.
You're just not used to that kind of speed.
Yeah, and then the thing is here, these players have been the fastest and the best players on their high school teams for a few years now. Yep. This is the first time they get a chance to play against guys who are just as good or maybe even better than they are. So that's probably a lot of the chippiness and the competitiveness that's going on right now.
Yeah,
hey, we want to thank PAFootballNews.com for providing today's game stats, helping us get the game on the air. We appreciate them for sure. First down now from the 31 for Pennsylvania. And there's a handoff, and again, they try inside, and a little more success that time.
Looks like a few yards by Avery Young, and first down, anything you get positive yardage is always a plus. And Avery Young's the kind of guy that can make something out of nothing, and he picks up a few there.
And he pretty much did it on that play. Wasn't a whole lot to get, but he got it.
When you look at those guys like a Combi 57, Khalil Gary out of Wise, Robert Garrett, you know, they're just tough in their playing.
From the 34, 2nd and 7. Pennsylvania leading 7-0, and they have the football. And he keeps, and again, is able to negotiate the sideline, and he gets across midfield. And they're going to mark him down at the 46 of Maryland. Great footwork along the sideline. I'm sold on this kid, Adam.
Yeah, he's a special player. He's a great runner, and when he plays quarterback, if the first option isn't there, he's normally taken off. And he rolls out to his right there. He loves going to his left. So I'd look for him to try to roll out here a few times to his left. And I'm hoping they get this big tight end, Hayden Rucci, involved here a little bit.
Well, we've seen him roll out to his right a couple of times now. So here's Pennsylvania around the left side, and he's got some room, 40, 35.
They're getting that perimeter.
And that's Aaron Young out of Coatesville. We've called his name a couple of times, and that's going to be a first down for Pennsylvania.
And I mentioned Hayden Rucci, the tight end. He had a heck of a block there on the left side, sealing the edge. That's the hardest block for a tight end to make.
Oh, yeah.
Sealing the defensive end, and he did a good job there.
Rucci going to the University of Wisconsin.
Yeah, he is the son of Todd Rucci, the legendary Penn State New England Patriots player. His dad played in this game 31 years ago.
Wisconsin's got to feel pretty good about grabbing a kid out of Pennsylvania.
They feel very good about it, and he's the kind of tight end that can block, and you know you need that at Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah, they do some blocking there. From the 29 now, first down for Pennsylvania, and some malice in the backfield. Getting back there in a hurry for Maryland, leading the charge for Maryland in the white.
Just a breakdown right from the start there with.
That's Robert Garrett out of Franklin. Yes, it was.
And that's the one thing you don't want on first down.
Yep,
you don't want negative yardage.
Yep, Jules and Garrett, they've been playing tough the whole time. Jules was actually in there on the other play, and that just credit to that quarterback. He can step. He just got around him. So we'll see if that pressure continues. They need a stop right here.
2nd and 13, 32-yard line. Looking down the right side. And there was some pushing and shoving, but they didn't throw the flag. As you guys were saying earlier, they're letting them play, right?
In the NFL, that had been a flag.
Oh, yeah.
As a receiver, that makes me a little bit angry there.
Yeah.
I'd be saying something to the ref right now.
You know what? They'll get to see each other.
All right, 250.
Yeah.
So 2:48 to go, 2:47 now in the first half. 7-0 Pennsylvania. As we spent the first half with the two teams bumping heads, a little extracurricular activity. And
big play here, Bruce. Third down, comes out here to the right, run the ball, and that's how slick he is.
Gets down around the 20-yard line. The kid can play. Everson Kane. Kane Everson. I've got it backwards on my roster. I'm going to make that mistake a few more times.
He's making something out of nothing there. And,
he did. They had him bottled up.
He's going to tuck that ball away.
You know, he runs. It's one of those things. Those kids who run that way, they tend to carry the ball that way. But here, Pennsylvania's got to come in here 4th and short and make a decision. I'd be surprised if they kicked.
Looks like they're going to go for this.
Yeah, they are.
Everson
this is a huge play for Maryland. They need to stuff this thing. They got the big boys in there.
Everson, a difference maker in this game.
He probably told Coach, I'm not coming off the field.
Kane Everson out of Harrisburg High. And they want to talk this over.
Yeah.
Maryland leads 7-0 in the Big 33 game. We'll be back with the final 1 minute and 50 seconds of the first half right after this. We're back at Landis Field in Harrisburg, Big 33 game, Pennsylvania. 4th down and 1 at the Maryland 20. They lead the game 7-0.
Huge play here. Maryland can stop. Inside drive.
There's a handoff.
And he stopped him.
Coming up to make the play for Maryland. Did they get it? They're calling it a first down.
I think they did. I
It's a
thought
first
he had
down.
it.
Yep, that's Patrick Garwood, the running back, going to Boston College. And Pennsylvania had 3 tight ends on the field, but they were calling their other tight ends. That was actually a linebacker and a defensive tackle they had out there.
Wow. That was Logic Hudgens from Maryland out of Archbishop Spalding in Anne Arundel County making the play. And he very nearly kept him from getting the first down. But Pennsylvania, fresh set of downs, minute 25 to go in the first half. They're on the 17-yard line. They would love to put more points on the board before they go in. And here's Everson.
Now it's time they need to
right
pick one
down the
off.
field. And some pushing and shoving. I tell you what, he's down there asking for a penalty is Yusuf Terry, but he's not going to get one, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
They may have a no pass interference rule.
They might.
I'm in favor of that rule. You know?
They're daring them, guys. I mean, it's been single coverage out here all day. They're counting on that line, getting to the quarterback quick enough where these guys can't stay open. But
that corner doesn't like being on the island with that guy.
Yeah.
Jolie, you cover high school sports in the Harrisburg area. Tell me about Kane.
Tell you what, he was at CD East a couple of years ago on this very field. One of the best comebacks you'll see in the 4th quarter. Dropped a couple dimes in with his arm. We know what he can do on the ground as well. What an athlete.
And there's a handoff and a hole on the left side, but they filled it quickly, does Maryland.
I tell you what, that linebacker crew for Maryland really playing. Ambush, Coins, and Alshimer.
That's Patrick Garwo was the ball carrier. And it's going to go for no gain, bring up 3rd and 10.
Garwo's a really good player. He the number 8 overall player in Pennsylvania, and he's broken more rushing records than I think we can count. But you know, Boston College is getting a good one, and Boston College loves power running backs.
Oh, yeah?
So you can look at the legs on that kid.
The Big 33 Buddy Program is one of the more special parts of this game, and they take challenged young men and women and they match them up with players. Adam, tell me about that.
It's a really cool program they have. My brother played in the Big 33 game 2 years ago, plays at Colgate now, and that was something that I think he really valued from this game. And it's really, the Big 33 is so much more than just football and the job they do on and off the field. They really give these kids life experiences.
Joel D., I think you can speak to that as well. This Buddies program, very popular in the Big 33, right?
I'll tell you what, some of the football players actually stay in touch with those families for years afterwards. And also it's amazing because the families themselves, they say what it means to those young kids, and it really is the highlight of the year sometimes.
That's great that they take the time to do that. We are back to action, 3rd and 8 from the 15. There's Everson with the handoff and a double reverse.
There it is.
And they've got room on the left side to the 5. The 10, and he is in. That's Yusuf Terry. Just like they drew it up, right?
Little trickeration. There's always a place for it in a game like this, and that was a nice time to pull it, you know?
What a play call. What a play call.
Yeah. And they flew to it.
Yusuf Terry's a big guy, but he can run pretty well.
He does run well.
He's about 6'4", 6'5", lanky, long.
That was beautifully executed. My goodness. So Pennsylvania with a 2-touchdown lead as they line up for the extra point. And that was an impressive drive overall. They marched right down the football field.
And what makes that play is the lead blocker there on the left side.
And the extra point is up. And it's good. And Pennsylvania leads it 14-0 with 52 seconds left in the half. Pennsylvania's making the points it needs to make, guys.
Well, they have, you know, the big plus that, you know, is that they had a quarterback came in and just brought him down the field running the ball. I mean, any number of times I thought he was going to get tackled and he slipped right out of it.
And that's why we've seen the college game and even now the NFL game move towards running or quarterbacks that can throw and run. I mean, it is you almost need one nowadays in the college game.
In Baltimore, we see that with Lamar Jackson.
Absolutely.
What a difference he made last year. Let's go down to the sidelines of Joel D. Smith.
Yes, here we are right now with Yusuf Terry, just like we were talking about. They have success through the air and then running that play. Did you know you were going to do that play earlier this week?
Yeah, they planned for it, and they just told me just now in the play before, I got to score. and I got the ball. That's what I did.
What's the atmosphere like out there? We've seen the hard hitting. I mean, you guys seem pretty evenly matched out there. What's it feel like on the field with all these great athletes?
I mean, it's a great experience. A lot of good talent out here. The athletes doing good. There's a lot of competition, and we just putting the work in.
Right. These guys are putting the work in with you. Enjoy it. You're at the lead right now. You got a whole half to go. Congratulations so far.
Thank you very much.
These guys are having fun.
Thank you very much.
All right, you got it.
All right, Joe D, we'll take it up here. Pennsylvania about to kick off inside a minute to play. Maryland just going to try to put any kind of points on the board before halftime. And that's going to be fielded right about at the goal line.
He's got a speed.
20, 25, 30, and roughly brought down at the 30-yard line. Coming up and making the play for Pennsylvania was Miles Talley out of St. Joseph's Prep.
Dropped his shoulder and powered that thing up in there. Yeah, it's athletic catching that ball. A little different. You can run the ball out of the end zone in this game. So that was, that was a great return.
You mentioned Miles Talley. He's a captain today for Team Pennsylvania, going to Sacred Heart. One of the best leaders at practice that I saw.
A lot of prestige captaining this Pennsylvania team, I would imagine.
It's definitely an honor. It's definitely an honor for these players, and to be viewed as one of the leaders of the best players in Pennsylvania is something these guys hold very special.
So guys, it's early to make this call, but what do you think of this moving the date back up? You like it?
I like it. I like it. I think it's good for the kids, especially good for Maryland, because we get to see our kids get to stay at home. A lot of our players, the colleges want them earlier. We probably have 7 or 8 of our good players wouldn't be here if it was later in the year.
Now, Adam, when you were in high school, you were unable to play in this game for the reasons we just laid out. Your college coach wants you on campus in the summertime, and when this game was in the summertime, nobody could do it, and you couldn't play in this game for that reason.
Absolutely, and college programs nowadays want players to enroll earlier and earlier. Sometimes even spring of your senior season, which was my case. But moving this game up just allows these star players, the 3 stars, the Yusef Terrys of the world, to be able to play in these games. If this was in the summertime, Yusef Terry would be at Baylor right now. We wouldn't get to see him score these touchdowns.
So the move was out of necessity. And if you're new to the Big 33, one of the best pieces of trivia that we can ever tell you is this. There has never been a Super Bowl without a product of the Big 33 game. And there have been 52 Super Bowls. That's impressive indeed. Here's Maryland now, 46
Maryland's
seconds to go.
Maryland's going to come back, try and strike it. They're going to lay it up.
Pennsylvania with some pass rush.
He's got it, and he's
got
got him. Oh, my.
He missed him. Had him downfield, too. And that's going to be incomplete. Bring up 3rd down.
It's one of the situations, Bruce, where when you're a game like this, 14 points seems like a lot. Sometimes you're better in an all-star game going down by 7. But naturally everybody'd like to have the 14 on their side of the scoreboard, but it's a long way from over.
Desmond Shell, the intended receiver there for Maryland.
And one of the rules today is that defense has to play man-to-man, which means that these scrambling quarterbacks will have a good shot at getting receivers open downfield. Nothing harder for a DB than defending a quarterback that can run.
Sure. Exactly. So Ryan Lee out of Linganore High, still a quarterback for Maryland. Linganore, another one of the Frederick County powers, out in and he can't hang on. That was Desmond Shell, and it was incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd down. So Maryland, they would like points before the first half. I think they'd like to avoid punting before halftime. 3rd and 10, 32-yard line.
Drops and negative yardage kills drives more than anything else.
Absolutely.
You love to catch that ball and get a few yards here and be looking at 3rd and 7 instead of 3rd and 10.
And we want to wish everyone a happy Memorial Day. We're glad you're spending part of it with us. And there's
He's got a nice toss. He's got a guy up the sideline. That's not.
That was taken at the 41-yard line. And he's still on his feet. Still on his feet. And that was Tyke Smith out of Imhotep going to West Virginia. And the Mountaineers would love to see plays like that out of him next year.
Tyke Smith is probably one of the best players on the field today. The Pennsylvania coaches told me he was the best player in practice, and you see it there in those kind of plays. And playing in the Big 12, you're going to need to have some DBs that can cover.
Absolutely. They throw the football in that conference. He's just back there playing center field on that one, Doug.
Well, it's one of the things you never do. Don't throw deep, late, and in the middle. Three things are bad for you. But maybe it probably turned out the field position about the same. They got time for, see what Pennsylvania does.
Pennsylvania would love to put some more points up here.
Yeah.
With a 14-point lead. 19 seconds to go in the first half. Sudden change. Shovel pass, and Maryland reads that right away.
I'll
That's
tell you
going
what,
nowhere.
if Maryland's done anything, they certainly outplayed the middle of that thing. Boy, they're tough.
And the clock winding down here in the first half.
Hayden Rucci getting the ball there, that tight end.
Yeah.
Who's a heck of a blocker, and you don't find many tight ends nowadays that like blocking more than receiving.
Right.
I certainly wasn't one of them. But Wisconsin's getting a really tough, really good athlete in Hayden Rucci.
I played tight end in a wishbone offense. Right? You want to start complaining?
Would you have 5 catches a year?
Not even that. Let's go down to Sayers to Joel D. Smith.
Tyke Smith with us right now. You know how to juggle, huh?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. I mean,
that ball was in the air for a little while, then you got it, and then a real nice return.
Yeah, I mean, it was in the. He put a lot of hang time on it, so it got me a chance to get up under it and make a play on it.
Throwing a lot of balls out there, a lot of single coverage. Is this fun?
Yeah, I mean, kind of get us working on our man, get us better at man coverage.
Okay, well, the offense did their thing, defense just did their thing. Have a good halftime. We'll see you in the second half. All right, man. Back to you guys.
All right, Pennsylvania lining up to kick. Tell me about the kicker, Adam.
Well, this is Anthony De Silva. He is a Penn State commit. This will be a big-time kick here.
Got a little wind in his face. It's strange. Nobody's quite sure how to block this thing that comes from the outside, but he had foot on it.
That's a 47-yard attempt. Going to be wide left. He had enough distance, but and that's going to end the first half. Pennsylvania leads Maryland 14-0 at halftime of the Big 33 game. We'll be back with halftime right after this. Stick around, everybody. We'll have more from Harrisburg, historic Landis Field. Welcome back to Landis Field in Harrisburg. This is the 62nd annual Big 33 All-Star game between Pennsylvania and Maryland. At halftime, Pennsylvania leads the game 14-0. And you know, it's not just all-star players on the field. No, they also pick all-star cheerleaders from both teams, and we figured we'd let you watch them for a few minutes. Take a look. Bill Buckner died. The first baseman, yeah. Did you hear that, Pete? Bill Buckner died. We want to remind you that the full performance by these all-star cheerleaders will be available on the game DVD, which will be available in the next weeks to come. So if you want to see some more of this, that's the best way to do it. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with more halftime from Landis Field right after this.
What's happening?
It's the future, Michael.
Oh, I'm not Michael.
Oh, don't worry. He calls everyone Michael.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law. But more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
Choose fresh local Pennsylvania milk. It's naturally packed with 9 essential nutrients. Just what you need to power through the day and fuel your body. Milk also builds stronger communities, providing jobs and pumping billions of dollars into Pennsylvania's economy every year. And it all starts with you. Choose PA Dairy. Goodness that matters to your family and our state. Find places to buy PA milk at choosepadairy.com.
I got the phone call that every parent dreads. Our beautiful 19-year-old daughter Peyton had died. Sudden cardiac arrest had ended her precious young life. This #1 killer of student athletes and leading cause of death on school campuses attacked our family. Many heart conditions that can lead to sudden cardiac arrest aren't found during routine physicals. That's why the Peyton Walker Foundation provides free heart screenings for teens. Help prevent sudden cardiac arrest in your family. Visit PeytonWalker.org.
Hey, Pete, real quick. Welcome back to Landis Field in Harrisburg. We are at halftime of the Big 33 All-Star Game. Pennsylvania leading Maryland 14-0. One of the great things about the Big 33 is the way this Harrisburg area turns out for this game. And it's at all levels. And you're talking about elected officials. You're talking about police and fire. Joel D. Smith spent some time with some of them earlier today. Joel D.
All right, back here now, halftime with Major General Tony Corelli, State Senator Mike Regan. The perfect time to have these guys here is Memorial Day, and that's what we're playing this Big 33. Obviously, it's an amazing game. It has this big history, but a new history now, Memorial Day. What's it mean to you guys?
Oh, I'll tell you, it's fabulous to have this event on Memorial Day and have so many people here. And you put the military spin on it, the veteran spin, to talk about honoring those that have fallen for this nation. You know, so it's more than just the football game. So we're thrilled to have this this facility and this event here on Memorial Day to give a little extra emphasis and shine more of a spotlight on Memorial Day. So we're thrilled about it.
Well, and besides that, the players themselves met the veterans earlier this week at the Lebanon VA. That was a big thing for them. When it comes to maybe football and the military and respect, do these things come together at all? What do you think?
I think absolutely. I think this is neat being at a football game with General Corelli, our top military officer in Pennsylvania. As chairman of the Veterans Affairs Committee, I see him a lot, but never in this context. And I'm really enjoying the Pennsylvania team's uniforms, too. A little shout out to our military there. It's a big day. It's good to combine football and our military officers, our veterans, and remember those who have fallen in the line of duty. So it's a big thing for us.
It is, and it's also a big thing when you want to win the game. You're here, you're doing all those good things, but you also want to win if you're from the Pennsylvania side. We wish you guys good luck, and thanks for being here with us on a special day. Thank you. All right, we'll have much more coming your way after this.
We're back at Harrisburg, and a really nice turnout for the Big 33 game. You're looking at the Landis Field grandstands. Again, this is the first time they've tried to play this game this early. As we explained to you in the first half, college coaches now want their signees on campus immediately. And when the game was held later in the summer, the top players weren't able to play for that very reason. So they have moved it back to Memorial Day, and therefore a lot of the top players can play in this game now. And it's an experimental thing. It's the first year they've tried it, but from all accounts, it's a successful way to go, and it's working thus far. Earlier, one of the top high school coaches in Maryland, Reggie White of Milford Mill High School outside Baltimore, spent some time with our Doug Duval.
It's a beautiful day here at the Big 33. What an exciting event, and it's really exciting for me because I get to introduce one of the great coaches from Maryland, one of the really guys that wrote the history of the Maryland Big 33, Reggie White Sr.
Hey guys, hey, I'm glad to be back again. I played in this game in '88. I coached in it. I was assistant coach twice, and I was the head coach last year, and we got the victory. I brought with me my two sons, and I'll let them introduce themselves.
Reggie White Jr. I played in the game in 2014. I had the game-winning touchdown.
Nicholas White. I played in the game last year. We got the victory. 6-6, no touchdowns, but we balled out. I just want to shout out the Big 33 Team Maryland. Let's get this win.
Well, there's something I have to mention. What are you doing with your time now, Reggie, after you were a big-time receiver up at Monmouth?
I'm currently on the New York Giants. I signed as a free agent about a month ago, a little over a month ago, and yeah, I'm with the Giants now, so everybody just say a prayer for me.
That puts the heat on the younger brother because the daddy played in the league all over. So it was a great day here at Big 33, and we're excited about kicking this ball off.
Thank you, Doug. We want to wish Reggie Jr. the very best with the New York Giants, too. He signed as an undrafted free agent, and he's got a shot to make that club. Hey, all weekend long, the Big 33 has been honoring our veterans and the U.S. military. Among the activities this week, players of both teams visited with local veterans in central Pennsylvania and had a chance to speak with these local heroes about the game, their future plans, and how much the veteran service means to them. As you see the players visiting, I'm a military brat, guys. I grew up in the military. I know what Memorial Day means, and I know how important stuff like this is to these kids, and it's a great part of this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, it goes right into everything this weekend is for these kids, so much more than just football. And to be able to visit with the veterans, and we're joined today by Senator Mike Regan, who's the chairman of the Senate Veterans Committee, and it's gone a long way to put this on Memorial Day. There could not be a better timing to tie this event into caring for our veterans.
And clutch knowing what his committee was. I'm impressed, Adam. Way to go. That's how you do your homework.
I might have used to work for him, but.
Okay. You don't need to tell us that.
Gives you a little insight.
We were good up to then.
Always take the praise.
Guys, let's talk about some football here up to this point. Doug, I want to start with you. Maryland knew that the Pennsylvania squad was going to be tough, but this doesn't look like a 14-0 game to me thus far.
Well, Maryland's been able to stop Pennsylvania running the ball from tight end to tight end. You know, they just stopped it completely in there. The big difference in the game is the quarterback for Pennsylvania pulling that ball down and taking off. Kept them alive, you know, so the big concern coming to the game could Maryland's cornerbacks cover Pennsylvania's wide receivers, and that's a tough job every year, year in and year out. But Maryland's defense has put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. They've got to, you know, their gains have really been, you know, two big pass plays and a lot of run plays. And it's just very good athletes in open field are hard to get your hands on.
And Adam, before we go down to Joel D. Smith, I think Pennsylvania is making its point thus far in this game.
Absolutely, and the offense is clicking. Kane Everson's come in and really given this offense new life. Running the ball, throwing the ball. Yusef Terry obviously made a few big plays for Pennsylvania, and if they can continue to drive the ball down the field, Pennsylvania's going to start with the ball here in the second half. 21-0 ball game would put this thing in a pretty far distance away from being a shot that Maryland could win.
The pressure's on Maryland for sure going into the second half. Let's go downstairs. All right, we'll be back with more of the halftime from Harrisburg. Stick around, everybody. This is the Big 33 All-Star Game.
This is the Big 33 Football Classic. Brought to you by Toyota, Let's Go Places, Jiffy Lube, and by LifeBridge Health Sports Medicine, where we care bravely every day.
Bring up the heat. Turn up, turn up.
Welcome back to Landis Field in Harrisburg. You're looking at the stands. Pretty nice crowd for this All-Star game. Let's go down to sidelines and Joel D. Smith. Joel D.
Nothing at the half right now. Pennsylvania leading. Thankfully, no big injuries to report. But part of the injuries is what happens before you get to the game. Andrew Gidry, we're here with us right now from LifeBridge. Tell me about some of the work you've been doing with the Maryland team.
Sure. So when we ever cover a game, we get here and make sure on my side if anybody's had a lingering head injury or a neck injury or anything else that we required a neurologist to clear beforehand.
Okay.
So we have players.
We're going to do a couple of highlights.
You're one of the only places doing some of this stuff in the entire region.
Correct. So when I started 3 years ago, we were one of 3 places in the country that had neurologists on board as a dedicated sports neurology program. Now there's about 9 programs in the country, but the next closest to us from Baltimore is up in Boston. So we get to see a lot of people from the Pennsylvania and the Maryland area.
Yeah, it's an important thing. Thanks very much for joining us here. Head injuries, we know so much more than we used to about this. The future of football might be guys like this, making sure these guys are as healthy as possible, guys. We'll send it up back to you.
Thanks, Joel D. Let's take a look at some first half highlights here. As we mentioned, Pennsylvania has jumped out to a 14-0 lead. And early in the game, Maryland was making some noise, Doug.
Well, Wande Owens is out on the outside. He's going to Yale. He's a big guy, but you can see he's really got a step. I mean, he can move the football. Pennsylvania, they hit that great pass play, good receiver, well thrown, well covered, So, you're going to have those at all-star games when you're good to receive.
Adam, before the game, you said watch out for these Pennsylvania receivers. There's the Maryland interception that they weren't able to cash in, but you were right about the Pennsylvania offensive attack, especially the receivers. Even though we're seeing the running back, they've been impressive.
And there's Yusef Terry. He has 75 yards receiving in the first half, and Kane Everson's given this offense new life. And then the Pennsylvania defense is playing pretty well, too. Only 2 first downs for Maryland so far.
And as we said before the break, Pennsylvania's pretty much making its point here today.
Well, you got to rely on the kids with the resilience to come back. I think Maryland did a good job stopping their momentum there at the end of the second quarter. Maryland's well within a reach of this game. 14 points in an all-star game. They've just got to hold on to the ball and not turn it over, come back. They're playing inspired defense. You're going to get beat, whether it's the NFL, college, or whatever, when you got a great wide receiver out there. But they're continually putting pressure on them. They've shut off the inside for the run game for Pennsylvania, so they need to kick it off, get the ball down to Pennsylvania side of the field, stop, and get back on there.
Adam, on the other side of that coin, 21-0 would be a very deep hole.
It would be, and this is what Maryland needs a stop right here if they want to be able to compete in the rest of this ball game.
So we are underway in the second half.
Fell in the right hole.
Kickoff going to be taken back at the 15-yard line. Turns straight upfield and runs into some Maryland defenders. Will cross the 30, and that's where Pennsylvania will go to work. First down on the 33. So which outstanding quarterback do you put on the field?
It looks like Cade Brabula's coming back in here. He has had a couple good throws, but has not had much time to throw the ball. So hopefully he gets a little bit of time here and can take some shots downfield.
Right.
Well, he's done a really good job. As we said, the pressure's been on for Maryland. Maryland had great pressure on the other quarterback when he's running, but he's so hard to bring down. And when you run that quarterback, that's the 12th man. It's just hard to cover him.
So Prabula out of the shotgun. Man in motion for Pennsylvania. They fake the handoff. Prabula now looking downfield, and he's under pressure, and he throws it away. That'll be second down.
Looks like Yusef Terry did not know what the play was there because Prabula was looking to come back to him on that sideline.
Again, all-star game stuff, right?
That's what happens. It's learning an offense in about a week. The offense has to gel. The receivers have to know what to do. Cade Prabula just threw that one away.
Good pressure by Darius Woods from Milford Mill on that. Made him just put it in the dirt.
You saw Darius as coach at halftime there with
you,
Doug.
Yes, we did with Reggie White, one of the great coaches in the state of Maryland and a former great player for Milford Mill. And
former San Diego Charger.
Yes, sir. And the Giants. There's pressure. Ooh, he got him just a little bit late.
And he's got his man across the 35. That is complete to Tinius Becker out of Bishop McDivitt.
McDevitt's about 10 minutes down the road from here.
Yeah. That's going to bring up, let's call that 3rd and 7.
Pabula is from Central York High School. He played a large role in turning that program around. Has been a 3-year starter there. Was a pretty bad program until he took over and has had 3 winning seasons. He's broke about every league passing record and is the first York County player to be in the Big 33 game in the last 5 years.
Impressive. That area is really booming down there.
It is.
Number 40's really putting the pressure on. He
There's
just
a throw downfield, a little bump.
There's a pick. He got it. He's up and running. Good job. That changes it over.
They whistled that one dead. He got up and he had an idea to run downfield.
He thought he was in the NFL.
That's A.J. Woods out of Northwest, and he's going to go to the University of Pittsburgh this summer.
That was huge. They needed to do that. Now they're back in the game a little bit. They could, they need to put that ball back in Wande's hands a little bit and just get some positive yardage here. I think Maryland's strength is their offensive line. I'd put them all to work. You watch them big guys going over there. They ate a lot of barbecue the other day, Bruce.
See, one of the receivers here ran the wrong route. They both are running to the same spot. You never want 3 receivers within 5 yards of each other in the middle of the field. Something happened there. Someone was not where they're supposed to be.
So here's Maryland from the 28, their own 28. They trail the game 14-0.
Nice little touch, throw short, run long.
And that was a hit. That was
Flag.
a hit and a half, and we've got a flag on that. But that was Tyke Smith just laying a hammer down.
He can hit, too.
Wow, I'm impressed. And Colin Schlee back in a quarterback from Maryland, but he never saw that coming.
Personal. Ooh, there you go.
Wow.
That's huge for Maryland.
So that'll bring up a first down for Maryland, and it will get it out around midfield as the Maryland team trying to find some points to put on the board.
I think if they just throw short, get control of the game, let them offensive linemen blow holes. See if they can't knock some holes in Pennsylvania's defense.
Now that cost them 15, but that hit had to have felt great.
They have some big linemen up there, Doug.
I'm telling you.
What are they feeding those guys at
Put
Maryland?
the ball on the ground, just let him run. There you go.
There you go.
Have a little patience with it. You'll break that thing loose.
Trying the left side was Jabril Johnson out of McDonough.
Good running back, had a great run this year and just doing a real good job all over the field, both sides. He's going to Morgan University. Morgan's really bringing it back.
Morgan State with the new head coach.
Yes, sir.
And they've got high hopes for the future there.
Well, they've hired good people into work, and I think that they can turn the corner. It's a great facility, great school academically.
4 Hall of Famers.
Bring back the days of Papa Bear.
Yeah. Did you know that, Doug?
Yes, sir.
4 Hall of Famers?
Yes, sir.
There's a handoff.
That's what they need to do right there. Just
Straight
keep
ahead,
pounding for a
nothing
little
fancy
bit.
there. That's Johnson again, and he will cross the 45. Let's go down to Joel D. Smith.
Hey, guys, here with A.J. Woods, just had that interception. What do they talk about at halftime? You guys down 14-0.
Just to keep your head up and keep on fighting because the game isn't over. And as fast as they can put up 14, we can put up 14 even faster.
Interception helps that. What'd you see out there?
I just saw the ball in the air, and I just went after it.
Win the ball in the air, right? They're throwing it a lot today.
Yes, sir. They keep on trying to target me.
Well, they lost that target game that time. Good luck to you.
0 catches.
He's keeping his own stats, guys. Back to you.
You got to love that. 3rd down and 4 from the 43. Slee got his man, a slant. They're going to drop him down at the 30-yard line. That's going to be a first down for Maryland. That was a good-looking play.
That kid, Brevin Easton, is a nice receiver out of Archbishop Spalding. He's going to Assumption College in Ohio.
It's a good play design there. That motion brings the outside linebacker inside, opens up the window for the slant. That is almost impossible to defend when you have that much room on the outside.
That's the truth.
Greatest play of football, the slant.
Yep. You just got to have people willing to go in there and catch it.
From the 30, Maryland making noise. There's
There
a
you go.
handoff around the left side. And he's going to pick up a yard or two coming up and making the play for Pennsylvania. First time we've called his name tonight, Brandon George out of Berks Catholic. Good looking open field.
Yeah, Brandon George is a 3-star prospect going to Pitt. One of the few guys going to Pitt in this game, but Brandon George actually wearing number 17 today. in honor of one of his friends who has a brain tumor. A really cool story about their connection, and is wearing 17 in his honor.
That's awesome. Good for him.
You know, that's the game of football teaches life lessons.
Absolutely.
There's nothing else can even come close to, and that's what the beauty of the game is. That's why we've got young kids playing the game
From
again.
all different walks of life, too.
All over.
Schlee.
He's special,
Going into
isn't
the
he?
end zone.
He's special. Oh.
Great defense back there in the corner of the end zone. That was Tyke Smith, whose name we're calling quite a bit, Adam.
Tyke Smith is all over the field. One of the best players on this field right now, and he's a dynamic athlete. West Virginia's got to be happy with him.
Colin Schlee's a third down kind of player. He's got him down in close enough here to be nice if they could get a first down and continue this drive.
Well, they got 3rd and 6 from the 26.
Yep.
And Maryland's in 4-down territory here, Doug. What do you think?
They are, no question about it. I just think, you know, we have not seen him hit that right side of the line yet. You got some beef up in there. That left guard, Will, is just owning that kid in front of him. Look at that. Look at him drive him out
And
of
they're trying
there.
to right side now, turns it back up, and Pennsylvania reads that one quickly. Leading the charge for Pennsylvania on that one was Miles Talley out of St. Joseph's Prep. We've called his game before already, Tim.
Yeah, he's 5'10", 205 pounds. He's a beefy kid, well put together, and he can run pretty well too.
Yeah. I think what they've got to do is take the thing inside. You know, you can't break that outside to a defensive end 52.
Yeah,
You got to bust it up inside there.
The strength of this defensive line are the defensive ends.
Ends,
So.
no question about it. Yep.
So 4th and 5 here from the 25. Maryland elects to go for it. The quarterback remains Colin Schlee out of Oakdale High in Frederick County.
I'm betting on that kid. He makes stuff happen. He's got him down the sideline.
Schlee's going to keep it. Pennsylvania converges on him. They're going to down him about the 20.
He got
short.
Maryland's calling for it.
I think
the
he got
referees have not signaled it yet.
You saw him looking to the sideline when he was going down. He's a gamer. He knew right where the flag was.
$14 to 0. Pennsylvania leads. Maryland will be back with more of the Big 33 right after this.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law. But more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
We develop quality citizens who keep our core, our country, and our communities side by side on the winning side. Not for glory, but for honor. For a code that isn't written or spoken, but lived. It's what we do. It's who we are. It's the battle cry of our fighting spirit. Battles won. See all the battles Marines fight to win at marines.com.
What if we told you that Stadium brings you free premium sports 24 hours a day, 365 days a year with exclusive live college games. Maybe the play of the day in college football. Daily studio shows.
This is the pinnacle of the sport. If you don't want to fight, don't come here.
Highlights and full game replays sent to all your favorite platforms. Modern, personalized, and built for you, the viewer. A new way to watch sports.
We are back in Harrisburg at the Big 33. Pennsylvania stopped Maryland on that 4th and short, and they take over now from their own 20-yard line. They lead at 14-0.
They got him trapped, whether or not they get him.
I don't know that you can trap that kid.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. Wow.
That was unbelievable.
Nazar Burnett pulls it out of the sky. Gentlemen, that happened right in front of me, and I still can't believe what I just saw.
I thought it was interception the whole way.
Yeah, unbelievable. And that's Kane Everson back in again, making a play, making something out of nothing. Here's the replay. He's going to scramble here. There's nothing's there and throws the ball downfield. Nazir Burnett making an unbelievable catch, coming back to the ball.
How in the world did he make that catch? Unbelievable. So that's going to be a big gainer. That's going to put them deep inside Maryland territory. They're going to set it up at about the 35-yard line, and Pennsylvania's in business.
And Burnett's going to Georgia Tech. That's what they do at Georgia Tech. They run the ball and they throw it up in the air and hope the receivers can make some plays. So
He'll be a good player in that offense.
That triple option.
But, you know, that's just been a little bit of the story here for Maryland. You know, that's not the first time that happened to him. I thought it was interception. That kid ends up pulling that ball out of the ground. He looked a little left-hander, looks like Kenny Stabler when he wings it, when he runs left and throws left.
Well, for the third time, you told us about these receivers. You tried to warn us about this.
This is a special group that Pennsylvania has this year. And Burnett, I mean, he had 1,700 yards his senior season.
Download Stir. We'll tell you about that in a minute. 6:08 to go in the third quarter. 14-0 Pennsylvania leads, and they just had a big gainer. The get-back coach is a little off the job there.
Yep.
You always had one, didn't you, Doug?
I had a really good get-back coach. Yep, sir.
The get-back coach is normally the strength coach,
That's who it was.
which these
yes,
teams
sir.
don't
No
have
question.
right now.
No question. So here you go. Maryland needs a little break here.
From the 35.
They do not get a yard inside. I'm telling you, that Maryland front is very, very impressive.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Download Stir, everybody. Stir is a free streaming video app with live sports, local news, movies, and tons of entertainment options live and on demand. Get Stir on your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or mobile devices anytime, anywhere for free. You see, Doug, to you and I, those words sound like a foreign language. To young Adam, it's right in his wheelhouse.
Yeah, I tune that out right away. I tell you what, I don't tune out. I'll tell you what, if you like line play and you focus on these kids in the blue and the red, those 9 kids, whew, what a war it is in there.
From the 35. Pennsylvania looking to add to the lead. He's going to the air again, and he's got his man again, and it's couldn't hang on. Yusuf Terry almost had a touchdown right there.
That's one Terry's got to catch. He wishes he had that one back, but Kane Everson, great job looking off the safety to the right side there.
And a beautiful throw, too.
Great throw, comes back to the left. You'll see him look to his right side first. The safety goes to the right. There it is, 1-on-1. That's a ball you got to catch.
I love that wide shot. Look at that crowd.
Yeah.
People are putting their arms around a big 33.
Well, I think there's probably 7,000 to 8,000 people here. You know, Maryland's had a good group to come up. You know, we were worried about whether Memorial Day would bring enough people to this game, but it certainly has.
Memorial Day's a winner for this game.
I believe so.
3rd and 10 from the 35 for Pennsylvania. Everson looking deep again. Now he's going to scramble. Just kind of
could be
floats
picked
it
off.
up.
That's a pick.
No way. That was William Gibson out of Aliquippa that pulled that one down. The second unbelievable catch on this possession. Wow.
It's Gibson, he is Aliquippa's all-time leader in receiving, and that's saying something from Aliquippa.
Absolutely.
These receivers, man, you just throw the ball up in the air and they're making plays.
Well, Doug said it when it was in the air. That looked like an interception, but somehow Gibson was able just to get up there and pull it down. Look at that replay. Wow. Impressive.
Some strong hands. He shields the defenders with his body like boxing out. And he's 6'3". He's not a small guy.
Aliquippa featured a couple of years ago on cable TV, the youth football. And he probably came out of that program. There's Everson. Boy, he is something. And he's not going to escape the grasp there. A little extracurricular there after it was over for Maryland. But making the play for Maryland in the white, coming back and stopping him, was Joe Perry out of Westminster on his way to Shepherd College.
He's a tough player, tough guy. He's mobile, too, for a big boy.
Well, to be that big and to contain him that's really something.
Yeah. Hey, you know what they say, Bruce? It ain't over till you know, and they are not in the end zone yet.
2nd and 7 from the 7.
They can't. You know what? They got to go someplace.
Well, he got out of the tackle. Look at this. Going to cross the 10, the 5, and be yanked out of bounds. That is Patrick Garwo. And he got up asking for a penalty. He might have been face masked there or something. He's certainly acting like he was. But the referee's not buying it.
That was a horse collar, probably.
Horse collar, yeah.
Maybe gain 2 yards if they gave it to you. It doesn't really matter too much down here.
Patrick Garwo almost turns a 2-yard loss into a 15-yard loss and ends up gaining yards.
That's why you're in the Big 33 game,
That's an impressive play. Bucks County Player of the Year last year.
All right, from the 5-yard line now, 3rd and 5 for Pennsylvania.
This has been a heroic stand. Back, I guess, was in '84. Maryland stopped Pennsylvania on the goal line and won the second time we played Pennsylvania. That was big. Maryland needs to come up here.
What year was that, Doug?
'84.
What year were you born, Adam?
95. You're dating yourself a little bit.
We're all dating ourselves.
You see, Pennsylvania has a tight end, their linebacker, and their other linebacker on the field.
Everson.
He got it inside.
Little look
I
in.
don't think he got it, did he?
He did get it.
Yeah.
That's a touchdown. And that's complete to William Gibson out of Aliquippa. And the drive is complete, and an impressive drive it was, and Pennsylvania makes it a 3-touchdown lead.
I hope William enjoys that run.
William Gibson put the team on his back there with those 2 huge plays. That guy has strong hands coming down with that ball with a DB all over him.
He went down to the other end of the field and gave the football to a kid sitting in the end zone.
Yeah, this little guy.
That's awesome. Good for him. There's the kid. He's got his ball.
Made that kid's day.
Yes, sir. Ran the entire length of the field.
I kept thinking, what is that child doing running the length of the field? Then I saw where he was headed, and I thought that's the reason. That's the special thing about this game with the buddy program.
He's down there high-fiving everybody now. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's something.
Kids had a big day. Also, Pennsylvania's had a big day. Here's the extra point. It's up. And it's good. 21-0. Pennsylvania over
You know what,
Maryland.
Bruce? I see the score on the scoreboard, but I see how the points got there, and you're talking about 2 good football teams.
21-0. 2:56 to go in the third. We'll be back with more of the Big 33 right after this. On that last scoring drive for Pennsylvania, William Gibson was the star, and Joel D. Smith's with him down on the sideline.
He's certainly made the touchdown catch, but the catch before that, up for grabs. How did you catch it?
Well, I'm a bigger receiver, so I just trusted my ability to go up and get the ball, and that's what I did. I didn't want my quarterbacks to throw no more interceptions, so I kind of played defense, but I came down with the ball, so it looked good on my part.
Yeah, and then after you scored, you decided to make a long run to the end zone. What happened down there?
Well, I said before the game if I had got a touchdown, I was going to do something. So I felt as if this game is bigger than football, So I think that just made the kid's day.
You might have made his year.
Made his year. So I scored plenty of touchdowns, but I bet you he never got in the game, ball.
Thanks very much. Hey, great game so far. And guys, I talked to him after he visited some veterans as well. Thoughtful guy. He knows it's bigger than football. Great guy right here. Has a big future no matter what it is, not just football.
I tell you what, I'm really impressed with what that young man just had to say. Pennsylvania's kickoff went out of the end zone, so Maryland will start at its own 20. And, Doug, they got to get something going here.
Well, they do, Bruce. They do. It's just tough. You look at that last drive, and interception or touchdown, which one? Who knows? So if it's interception, it's a 14, and there's no other 14 could have been 7. But, that woulda, coulda, shoulda. But, hey, listen, what I want to see is how Maryland plays right now. They're going to stay in the game. They're going to pick the head up. I think they will. I think they're going to play hard.
But as we said, Adam, 21 points is a deep hole.
That's
It's
a lot
tough.
to come back from, but this is the type of game where it could happen. It's high scoring, fast pace, and Maryland's drove the ball a little bit now, but they just got to put some points on the board.
Colin Schlee remains in at quarterback for Maryland. Starts on their 25. There's the reverse. And now it's a reverse pass, and he's going to go to Schlee, and Schlee's got it.
That's nice.
They're going to run him out of bounds.
Whoa.
And we have a flag, late hit, and double flags. And
that was pretty bad.
We hadn't seen this in a while, and we're sorry we're seeing it again, to be
Well,
honest.
you can't sling somebody into the bench,
No,
you know?
no.
That probably ought to be an injection.
Joel D., you right in the middle of that?
I just got closer to it. I mean, these guys are high strung. You see they're ahead right now, yet the Maryland guy ends up here in the sidelines. If you're not looking and you just turn around and get hit by somebody, I guess the reaction is still to react back. It's tough to shut that down. I'm glad they got out of here without anything worse happening, though.
Keep your head on a swivel, all right?
Yep.
I'll tell you what, these guys playing in college, there is nothing that'll get you kicked off the field faster than getting unnecessary 15-yard penalties.
Oh, yeah?
I know Doug can confirm that, but there is nothing that'll make your coach more angry than that.
Well, 17 be sitting on the bench if I coached them, because you take somebody else, you throw them into the bench. You don't know whether you're going to hurt your own team or the guy you're trying to throw into a concrete or metal bench.
He's getting an earful down the sideline right now. I'm taking a look right now.
Well, he should. He should.
Yeah, and he's going to Pitt. I would assume that Pat Narduzzi would have a no-tolerance policy for that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
he's a good player. He's a captain for this team. Has been really impressive all week in practice.
I would imagine Narduzzi's going to see this game film too, and we'll probably have something to say to him.
He's probably texting him right now.
Uh-huh.
He's probably praying he doesn't get hurt, too.
Absolutely. That is a danger in these all-star games, particularly late. Because, Doug, you're under pressure. You want to play the whole roster here, right?
You certainly do. And, but the truth of it is, Bruce, you got high-level kids. The rules are set up so that you don't have – and truthfully, other than the chippy back and forth stuff, the game's been clean, been honest. Nobody's at the trainer's table.
From the 38, here's Maryland. And we have a flag behind the runner. That's Jabril Johnson of McDonough, the workhorse. We've called his name a lot.
It's going to be a hold, I think, on 64.
Yeah, probably in that position. I think you're exactly right. That's a pretty big kid to not be able to see him. He's going to Holy Cross. He's
Benjamin
6'7",
Blessing, right? Yeah.
310.
Out of John Carroll School up in Bel Air, Maryland, the northeast part of the state.
I think he's going to develop into a real good college lineman.
I'll tell you what, you see the kind of athletes some of these linemen are nowadays.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, big, agile, fast.
It's funny, Doug, back when you and I were playing, linemen were a little smaller, and then they got a lot bigger, and now they are bigger and athletic on top of that.
Yeah. In the old days, 240, that was a pretty good load.
That was huge, yeah. But you couldn't move at 240.
No.
And now you see guys over 300 pounds who are very
running 4.8, 4.9 40s.
It's remarkable, isn't it?
Yeah, it's incredible. Need to get a little something going here. That was a little bit of a costly penalty for him.
First and 20 from the 48. Schlee remains at quarterback. Just had to dump that one and very nearly intercepted. And coming up and making the play is our friend, Brandon George. That was intended downfield as Maryland was looking to make something happen. That was intended for Ayo Daraje. How'd I do?
You did it. You got him.
Okay.
TD, yep.
And he is out of Damascus High School, a power again in Central Maryland.
That'll be the third year in a row.
Okay.
It's a good play by Brandon George there. He's going to Pitt, like we said, and he's going to have to cover when he's at Pitt. He's going to have to cover tight ends, running backs, slot receivers, and that was an impressive play to break up that.
It's such a temptation to dive and try to go for that interception right there, though. But you got a play to make, right?
Absolutely, you got to make a play.
Let's go down to Joel D. Smith. He's got the top player in the state of Pennsylvania who is heading to Penn State. Joel D.
That's right. He was the top guy. He ended up choosing Penn State, had a great freshman year, and now we're here with Micah Parsons. Now, because of the time of the Big 33, you couldn't play, right?
Exactly right.
Why is that? Explain to people why.
I decided to forego the end of my senior year and enroll in college early to get a jump start on my education and athletics, so therefore I was able to miss the game, but luckily I was still blessed and honored to participate in the Army All-American game in San Antonio, Texas.
All right, so if the game had been closer to Memorial Day, like now it is, do you think you might have played?
Definitely. I could have easily talked it out with Coach Franklin or things like that and got it done and over with. But because of the timing and the football schedule that I deal with that's so hectic, I wasn't able to do it.
Maybe they'll get more guys like Mike into games in the future. We've seen a couple scuffles out here. It's supposed to be an exhibition game. How does that happen? You played in a couple of these All-Star games.
I mean, as an athlete and how competitive I am, man, I really love it, man. I see them out there putting their heart on the game, and that's what it's really all about, man. They're enjoying it, they're having fun. At the end of the day, these guys are going to dap up and be friends all over again, but the competitive attitude and the competitive nature of these guys is just getting the best of them.
All right, last thing, what are your goals for this year for Penn State, your sophomore year?
Our goal is to go to the playoffs and win it all this year and definitely come home with a Big Ten championship, knowing we're the best team in the Big Ten.
There you go, Micah Parsons, a star when he was in Harrisburg, already a star in Happy Valley as well. Thanks for joining us, big guy.
Hey, no doubt.
All right, we'll send it back to you.
Hey, Penn State's got a chance. They do. They went to Devin Dawkins, attempted the pass and overthrew him, so that's going to bring up 3rd and 20. But a lot of people are hyping Penn State right now.
Yeah, Micah Parsons is going to be a leader on that defense this year. I mean, he played as a freshman last year, had a really good season. Probably going to be one of the best players in the country. We'll see his name called on the NFL draft soon.
Well, Penn State's put together a really good coaching staff. That goes a long way.
The pass is incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Coach Loxley's coming to University of Maryland, done a really good job since he's been there. He's got the excitement back up.
He really has. And you know what? I wanted to talk to Adam about this because, Adam, when you were in high school, you kind of wanted to play at Maryland. It's tough, though, for Maryland to cross the state line and come up into Pennsylvania and recruit, isn't it?
It's definitely tough, and James Franklin has not made it any easier with the way he's been recruiting.
Right.
But Maryland's a great place, and Edsall and Loxley, and those guys have done good jobs laying the foundation. And that Penn State-Maryland rivalry seems to get a little bit more and more competitive each year.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. Pennsylvania leading Maryland 21-0. We'll be back with a 4th quarter of the Big 33 All-Star Game right after this. We're back at Landis Field in Harrisburg. You're seeing one of the side shows they have for this Big 33. They tend to make this kind of a football festival. There's all kind of fun things to do. There was a live band before the hand. There were inflatables for the kids to play on and things like this out on the field. Guys, when you're staging an all-star game, it's important to add a little bit of fun to it.
You got to have a little, bling, and they've done a good job with it.
Let's do that now. You know, some of you are watching this game on Stadium. Stadium brings you 24-hour premium coverage of live professional college and high school sports. Download the free Stadium for Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and all your devices. Stadium, welcome to the game. And Stadium, a bonus today. Ordinarily, we would just be televising this to markets in Maryland and Pennsylvania. Stadium takes it worldwide.
I'd heard that.
The entire world is seeing this Big 33.
And hearing the insights of Bruce Cunningham.
I don't know around the world how much that'll play, but
big time.
Legendary.
Legendary.
You guys need to run with a faster crowd. That's all I can tell you. 4th and 20, Maryland into punt.
Need to get a big kick here and a nice coverage.
Tell you what, that one was almost blocked. And it's going to bounce into the end zone.
That's what they needed.
Penn State, they'll take the touchback on it.
As we said before, it's nice to have real legitimate kickers and long snappers and all that stuff, because if you didn't have a good long snap, that would have been blocked.
You know, we mentioned this in passing earlier in the game, and now that we have a minute, I really wanted to get into this. On the high school level, kicking game is not usually a strength of most teams. And if you've got a strong kicking game in high school, what a weapon that is.
It totally changes the game. If you can make a 40, 45-yard field goal, the advantage that you immediately have, and what we see, Bruce, is that almost every state championship team has a good kicker.
Absolutely.
It is a common denominator among those top-tier schools across Pennsylvania, and I'm sure across Maryland.
Well, I think a lot of kids are playing soccer early, you know, and then they convert over and they become football kickers, and there's a lot of opportunity for kickers. You know, it's 3 parts of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. We used to spend a half hour every day. First half hour, special teams.
And you won 5 state championships behind that attitude.
Well, you just can't make any big mistakes, because special teams, that's where they get you.
Yes, sir.
At Penn State, James Franklin tells everyone, unless you're a quarterback, and if you're a starter, you will be playing at least one special team.
Yeah, yeah.
You can normally pick which one it is, but special teams is so important. And there's another statistic about if you block a punt or have a punt blocked, I mean, if you block a punt, your chances of winning that game go up dramatically.
Virginia Tech did a stat on that the years they were lighting it up, blocking punts.
And we have watched the Ravens special teams and defense over the years down there, so you don't have to tell us.
Yeah, big stuff.
We've seen that time after time. James Franklin, as you mentioned, was once the coach in waiting at Maryland.
Yes,
and,
he was.
When Ralph Friedgen was fired, he was let loose, and he went down to Vanderbilt, where you cannot win, and took them to a bowl game. Penn State swooped on him really quickly, and Adam, I think they're really happy they did.
Oh, he's been a great fit for Penn State. First of all, recruiting. I mean, he's had some of the top classes in the country. Took over a program that was probably in a lot of turmoil, and is probably unlike anything anyone will ever have to face again in coaching history.
They called it roughing, I think.
They did call roughing on that?
I think
there
they
was
did.
There was
well,
a little
he hit
bit
him,
of a
but he
brush
didn't
back
knock him
there.
down. He did hit him.
That could be the break that Maryland needs.
It could be. Wouldn't that be something?
So the offense coming back on the field?
Yeah, yeah.
That didn't look like that much contact.
No, but it was. You know, most punters would have been spiraling around in circles and laying on the ground like they got shot.
If you're the Pennsylvania coach here, Mark Lyons, you are frustrated.
Oh, you go, what are you doing?
You had the game over right there.
Tell me about Mark Lyons as a head coach, Adam.
Central Valley, he's been there for a long time and has been a legend in that part of the state. But more than that, what his players say about him, he's a great leader. He's a great play caller. He's an offensive guy. And I think he's done a really good job with these players this week. I was watching him at practice and the way he interacted with them and the competitive atmosphere. I mean, it's hard to get a competitive practice in an all-star game.
Yeah.
And when I heard Coach Lyons giving it back to the defense and chirping back and forth, I knew he was doing a good job with those players.
Doug, it's quite an honor to be asked to coach in this game, isn't it?
Oh, it's a huge honor in both Pennsylvania and Maryland. I mean, early on, Tony Cernugal, who was the coach at Bishop McDevitt back in the day. You know, he said he got put in the Hall of Fame in '84. It's my first trip up here, and what a night that was. He used to do a banquet, and Joe Paterno was the speaker, and you know, Tony won a whole pile of games, and you could see how moved he was about being inducted in the Hall of Fame. And we've developed the same thing in Maryland, and you know, I keep going back and forth, but Pennsylvania's drugged Maryland into contemporary football. Yep. I mean, it's special to be coaching in this game. Maryland's got really good coaches this year on their sideline, as does Pennsylvania. And the coaches have now gotten to the point they really get along well together. Maryland, Pennsylvania coaches, they now own the game. The PFFCA and MFCA, they own the game. They put it on together.
So can we look for stability? Because Pennsylvania has been looking for opponents over the years. They did Ohio for a while. Do you think this Maryland-Pennsylvania thing, Doug's locked in now?
Well, we played from 84 to 92.
Right.
Then we were out.
Right.
And then in 2014, we came back in. And yeah, we have a signed contract, goes 5 years. You can never say how long something's going to go, whether it's a marriage or a football game. But you know what? We really love the coaches in Pennsylvania. Gump May and Gary, those guys just do a great job. And you see the coaches on the sideline. We know a lot of them, and they know us. So it helps in the recruiting too.
And Adam, from the Pennsylvania side, would you prefer to continue to be playing Maryland every year?
Absolutely. I think it's a great fit, first from proximity standpoint, just being so close. And the thing is, a lot of these guys are going to play in college together.
Right.
I mean, the schools that recruit Pennsylvania are normally recruiting Maryland as well. And it just gives these guys a chance to play against each other and get to know each other before they get on campus.
All right, after all of this now, Maryland has the ball back.
They got a little guy up the sideline. Ooh, there's the screen. Oh, well read.
And he fumbles. And he fumbles, and Pennsylvania recovers right at the 40-yard line, and that is where they'll go to work. And you kind of get the feeling that might have been Maryland's last shot right there.
Yeah, that was the first down they needed to convert. They got a blessing on a second opportunity there on the roughing the punter.
Boy, oh boy. You know, sometimes things go wrong. They just keep going wrong, you know? Yeah, don't lay it on the ground. But it was a good call, though. The screen was a good call at that spot on the field. You know, but
it was there. You see the three offensive linemen touching no one on the right side there. They ran past a few different guys. It was set up.
Joel D. Smith, a sense of relief on that Pennsylvania sideline?
Oh, you can keep that helmet on, my friend. Everybody else has the helmet off. You just recovered that fumble. What did you see out there?
I just saw the ball go down and I wanted to score, but it didn't happen.
You were trying for the scoop, weren't you?
Yes, sir.
You guys have been
nice play action.
Able to have a shutout still at this point. What's been working for you best out there?
Just intensity. Just intensity, that's it.
Simple as that, huh? All right, what does this mean to you guys? You're on your way to victory. We're not calling it yet, but how much did revenge really mean to you coming into this week?
It means everything. We just want to come out here and put on for the state of Pennsylvania.
So far, so good for your side. Keep it up. Good job. All right, guys, back to you.
Hey, that was Christian Lassane, Doug, out of year-old Wild Lake High School that came up and made that tackle just now.
Great kid, and just, you know, he plays hard, done a good job in his high school career.
Second down and 6 for Pennsylvania.
He's headed to, I'm sorry, Bruce.
That's all right.
Headed to Shepherd.
They lead at 21-0. And they continue to go to the air over on the right side, and he's going to cross midfield. That's complete to Aaron Young out of Coatesville. And I continue to be impressed with the quarterback, Kane Everson. Oh, there's a flag on the field. We've got one just short of the 40-yard line.
Bruce, we mentioned Shepherd a number of times, and they're coming into the PSAC, which is Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference.
Right, good conference.
And it's a great conference. It'll be great for Shepherd because they're just over the line in West Virginia. And
Didn't I hear Frostburg is making that move too?
They went to Division I, but not in the PSAC.
Okay. Division II.
Division II, I'm sorry.
Right.
Pennsylvania's going to have to keep throwing the ball here with the rule of having to throw the ball 40% of the time.
Right.
Which
They
will
can't just
continue
run the
for this
clock
game
out.
to be exciting. So.
Sure. And Adam corrected me. Cade Perbula is now at quarterback for Pennsylvania. I think old Kane has made his point.
He has made a statement today. He's one of the best athletes in the state.
So we can watch Cade play for a while, huh?
He's a fun one. Reminds you of Michael Vick a little bit, doesn't he?
A little
Lefty.
bit. Oh, my gosh. Quick feet. And just straight ahead running. That's going to cross the 35. It's going to pick up about 4 yards, bring up 2nd and 6. Now, as you said, you know, they have to throw some, they have to run some, but ordinarily right now you're just pounding it, right?
Right.
4-minute drill.
That's exactly what it would be.
Hayden Rucci had a catch earlier, and I was just reminded his brother Nolan Rucci is one of the top players in the class of 2021. I just saw him, and I'm 6'4", and I was looking up directly at him. So he's probably 6'8". He's an offensive tackle. Another one of the pipeline in the Rucci family.
You see that a lot in football.
You
do.
know, you really
do.
Pennsylvania not in any hurry. A little trickery. And it's read by Maryland, but he's getting out of it. Getting around the left side, 40, 35, 30. And going to be run out of bounds at the 25. That hit was probably late as well, and that's your guy, Yusuf Terry, yet again.
That's him, and Baylor's getting a really, really strong player. I talked about practice a little bit. He chose Baylor over UCF and over Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh would have been a lot closer to home, but what he said to me, he said, I want to play in the Big 12. I want to get the ball, and he wants to catch the ball. So he actually, his production wasn't great in high school, but you can see the talent, the length, and he is exactly what you look for. If he can train, put on some weight, get faster, he's got a chance to be an NFL wide receiver.
If you're a receiver or quarterback, you want to play in that Big 12 because that's what that conference is about.
That's where you want to be.
And mom and dad can always go down to Morgantown and see you play, right? It's Pribula going for the end zone. Right in the hands of Nazir Burnett. He couldn't hang on to it, and that's going to bring up second down. Very nice throw, though. Great throw by Pribula, and that's a Bishop McDevitt product. You mentioned Bishop McDevitt earlier, Doug. I used to hate playing Bishop McDevitt.
That's one of the, if there is a term, a football factory in the state, that's it.
Sean McCoy.
Yeah.
Noah Spence, remember that name?
Yeah. Those are pretty good names.
Yeah.
Wow.
They have some studs, and in PA, public and private play each other. That was never a fun time.
Yeah, they do that in Maryland, too.
In Maryland,
a lot of states don't do it, but they do there.
Had a holding on that one, guys. We're going backwards. So even though we missed it, it wouldn't have counted anyway.
You know, that kid, Robert Garrett, out of Franklin High School, you got to give him credit. He is going all out. And, you know, that last play, he was all over.
Franklin in suburban Baltimore, Baltimore County, Reisterstown to be exact. They won 3 state championships in recent years.
He's in on that tackle.
And they're going to down him at about the 45. That's going to bring up second down. I'm really impressed with this Pennsylvania outfit. This is, I knew they were going to be good, but this team is sound, for an all-star team especially. A lot of talent.
Aaron Young on that carry. He had 32 touchdowns his senior year of high school. 32. Playing at Coatesville in that high-powered offense.
Doug, would you take 32 touchdowns in one season?
You know what? I was fortunate enough to have a few guys that did that.
Yeah, I know you
That
did.
makes you a winner that way.
I thought you were going to say you had 32 touchdowns.
Yeah, I saw a lot of touchdowns in my high school career, but I wasn't part of any of them.
A guy with 32 touchdowns makes you a lot smarter coach.
He sure does. Makes you a great coach. I think Wandy Owens had 39 this year, the kid going to Yale.
Well, he's not going to escape that time. Coming up and making the play for Maryland, Darius Woods out of Milford Mill, making Coach Reggie White happy.
Yeah.
Pribula went down on that left shoulder that he just had surgery on 5 months ago.
It might be time.
He looks okay, but I bet the Delaware coaches are watching this with a little bit of anxiety today.
You think they're texting right now?
Yeah. Get him out of the game.
Yeah, right now. Right now.
The people in Pennsylvania are going to be happy watching this kid from Maryland, 33, DeAndre Jules from Northwest.
Yeah.
He's going to Pitt. He's a real player.
Delaware also in that CAA, and I just can't praise that conference enough. If you're going to play FCS, that's probably the best FCS country or conference in the country. And there's no shame in playing at a CAA school at all. Going downfield. Receivers got crossed up and it hit the ground harmlessly. That will bring up fourth down. So Pennsylvania sure to punt it, and Maryland will try to get something going here.
Hopefully they can. I'd love to see them get one up on the board. You know, it's been an opportunistic game for Pennsylvania. They're a great football team, and the thing that we talked about earlier, Adam said the wide receivers have to come up big today, and they did.
6 minutes left. I've seen crazier things happen in football than
than
a 21-point comeback.
Sure. And Maryland would love to surprise you with one.
Yep.
So Pennsylvania not in any hurry at all. The clock is their good friend.
Maryland's got some people that can make something happen.
And it's going to be taken on the 16 on a dead run. Breaks one tackle and going to be dropped down around the 30-yard line. That is Desmond Shell out of Milford Mill.
And that's how you return a punt. You attack it aggressively.
21-0. Pennsylvania leads. We'll be back with the rest of the fourth quarter right after this.
Here for all the moments that matter. Capital Blue Cross, widely accepted by top doctors and specialists. The name trusted for over 80 years. Live fearless.
For a place, a people, an idea, for right and freedom, for liberty and justice for all. For every square inch between fruited plains and spacious skies. Marines fight to win. See all the battles Marines fight to win at marines.com.
Choose fresh local Pennsylvania milk. It's naturally packed with 9 essential nutrients. Just what you need to power through the day and fuel your body. Milk also builds stronger communities, providing jobs and pumping billions of dollars into Pennsylvania's economy every year. And it all starts with you. Choose PA Dairy. Goodness that matters to your family and our state. Find places to buy PA milk at choosepadairy.com.
We're back at Landis Field for the Big 33 All-Star Game, the 62nd
one on the slant.
annual. There's Maryland going downfield.
What was up with that?
Pass was intended. Well, you're the coach. Pass was intended for Desmond Shell, and it was incomplete. What was up with that, Doug?
I don't know. Maybe Desmond didn't know he was the receiver.
It's an impressive rush there by Deontay Nichols out of Harrisburg. I've talked about him a little bit. He has a really neat story of didn't play football growing up. First game playing at Harrisburg, gets kicked out of the game for punching someone, but talks about how he changed his attitude around, came back from it, and obviously ended up having a great career.
That should have been about a 45-yard gain.
2nd and 10 from the 30. Ryan Lee in at quarterback for Maryland, out of Linganore High, Frederick County.
He threw a nice ball.
Going for that one, too, but overthrew the intended receiver. It looked to be Juwan Rabb out of Woodlawn, also in Baltimore County. And that'll be 3rd down and 10.
His quarterback has a strong arm, Doug.
He's a good player. He's going to Shippensburg. So Ship's got a really good kid coming to him. He's a competitor. He comes out of Linganore High School, which has just been a really strong football program.
Year in and year out, they are.
Yeah. And so he'll love Shippensburg.
Another PSAC school.
Yeah, and unfortunately, one of the great all-time coaches there, Rocky Reese, passed about a year ago. Old Rocky played at Westchester. I was fortunate to have known him and call him a friend.
Doug, you played up there, right?
Yes, sir.
You don't want to say the year, do you?
Great football.
There's the throw.
Oh,
what a
my
play.
God.
Coming over the top, that was Marcus Mason out of St. Joseph's Prep. He's on the roster, Adam, as athlete.
Yeah, he played every position in practice this week. He was playing running back, wide receiver, slot receiver, D-back, safety. He's a great athlete. He's listed at 5'8". I want to say maybe he's 5'6", but he's a really good athlete.
Come over the top like that, it's risky. I mean, and he was athletic enough to pull that off.
Yeah, he pulled it off.
He's going to Sacred Heart. If he was about 3 inches taller, he'd probably go into Penn State or Pittsburgh.
Sure. All right, 4th and 10. Maryland is lined up to punt with 4 minutes to play.
That's a nice punt, way up there high.
Going to be taken at the 25. Maryland covered it well, but he picks up a block, turns it upfield. Look out, 40-yard line, going to be drugged down.
Be coming back for that clip, though.
Yeah, there's a clip on the other side of the field. That was Tyke Smith.
Yeah.
21-0. Pennsylvania leads Maryland. 3:41 to go. We'll be back with the rest of the Big 33 All-Star Game right after this.
Here for all the moments that matter. Capital Blue Cross, widely accepted by top doctors and specialists. The name trusted for over 80 years. Live fearless.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law, but more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
What if we told you that Stadium brings you free, premium sports, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, with exclusive live college games. Maybe the play of the day in college football. Daily studio shows.
This is the pinnacle of the sport. If you don't want to fight, don't come here.
Highlights and full game replays sent to all your favorite platforms. Modern, personalized, and built for you, the viewer. A new way to watch sports.
So they mark off the penalty yardage. Tyke Smith, we've been calling his name, Adam. Pretty interesting story.
He has an awesome story, like so many of these guys here today, from a really bad part of Philadelphia. And he had the quote that if you make it past 16 where he's from, you're lucky.
Wow.
And that football allowed him to do that. He now uses that as an opportunity to give back and be a leader in that community for younger kids.
It's a redemptive game oftentimes, isn't
Absolutely.
it? Johnny Freeman, the intended receiver there, they overthrew him. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. I know Pennsylvania would love to be doing nothing but running the ball right now, but they can't.
I don't know. That double pass, you know what I mean?
I think they're trying to round up the score a little bit, Bruce.
Well, I'm wondering, but the truth of it is, I don't think they can run the ball in Maryland anywhere unless they get out on the perimeter. Maryland just shut them down running the ball.
That has been the thing that Maryland has looked the best at today, is stopping the run.
Yeah. Well, coming into the game, we figured that would be the case, you know. So, but the question was, could we put enough pressure on the quarterback? But that quarterbacks are just very, very good.
And
you know,
the 0 on the scoreboard doesn't help either.
No.
There it is again.
Yeah. I think between the tackles, Pennsylvania may have gained 50 yards all day. You know what I mean? But out on the perimeter with the receivers, they are very, very dangerous.
So that'll bring up 3rd and 10. The clock is stopped at 2:50 as Pennsylvania wants to talk it over. Joel D, does it feel like victory down there yet?
I mean, they're not in victory formation, but they're thinking about it. I know you can't really do that in this game, obviously, but yeah, there's a sense of relief. Certainly the tension is down. They want to get through the rest of this thing healthy and happy. And the happy part they got, the healthy, they got about 2:50 left.
There you go. Joel D. Smith on the sideline. Stay tuned after the game. Joel D's going to have interviews from down on the field with some of the game stars, and as we wrap this thing up for you. And we want to remind you, if you're watching us on Stadium, we will appear on Stadium around 5:15 or so to wrap this game up too. So you're going to want to stay tuned in there. And we're excited about adding Stadium to the network this year because, as we mentioned earlier, it takes us worldwide. It's kind of awesome to be thinking about people sitting in China watching the Big 33 game.
Yeah, well, it's a great rivalry. It's a granddaddy of high school all-star game. And, you know, it's been a great day of football here. The score, 21-0, doesn't really indicate the game. It hasn't been a walk. You know, it's been big plays,
Yeah,
big
you're
plays.
right about that, yeah.
Maryland liked nothing better than to get the ball back right here and make something happen.
At least put some points up.
Yep.
Don't get shot.
And they got one, they got a little break there. But they got one play to stop here, and then it's theirs for 2 minutes.
So simple offsides against Pennsylvania. They're going to mark off the 5 yards. That'll take it back. Let's just inside the 10-yard line. It's touching the 10.
This Pennsylvania offensive line has some good players, which makes the defensive performance by Maryland's front seven even more impressive.
It's true, Adam. I appreciate you saying that, too. And you can see the relentless pressure that they've put on. And the quarterback's just been scrambling the whole time and pulling stuff off, you know?
Pass is complete out across the 20, around the 25. That was William Gibson, who Joel D. just talked to a minute ago. And that'll set up a first down for Pennsylvania.
That's Gabe Prabula making a play there. He may not be quite the athlete that Kane Everson is, but he's a true pocket passer, but he can make some plays on his feet too.
Yep. It's interesting, the two quarterbacks, the difference in styles. You've got the scrambler, you got the pocket guy. Both are valuable. Joel D. Smith.
Hey guys, we're here with Jack Young from Athens High School. He's going to be the Big 33 coach next year for Pennsylvania. Just do the same thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Keep them to no points and we'll be in great shape. That'll be awesome.
What are you seeing out there, a difference from last year where Maryland got the win?
Well, the rules are a little bit different this year. I think it's a much more exciting game, a lot of big plays. And, the bottom line is Maryland scored 6 points in 2 years, but they have a victory. So, it's just a matter of putting together a good group of guys, and whether it be coaches and players and, putting our best product on the field. It'll be a fun time and exciting.
I suggest you get speedsters on the sides again. Those wideouts have been money.
Yeah, and, Pennsylvania doesn't lack in athletes and speed. So, our Coaches Association will do a great job in getting a group together, and I'm sure it'll be an exciting time.
Pressure's back now. You're coming off of a victory, it looks like, instead of a loss.
Absolutely. I wouldn't want it any other way.
There you go. Jack Young going to be taking care of things next year for the Big 33 on the PA side. Guys, back to you.
He's got to be excited, I would think.
Yep.
1:42 to go. Pennsylvania leads it 21-0. They have the football. 2nd down and 3. Ball on the 32-yard line. Bruce Cunningham. Doug Duvall. Joel D. Smith. And making his debut today, our man Adam Brenneman, who's done a fantastic job. We're happy with you, sir.
Thanks, Bruce.
I knew you were nervous going in. You're performing
it's just like a football game.
Hey, beats working.
You got nerves, and then after the first one, it's over.
But nobody hit you yet, so you haven't got that first hit in. So here's Pennsylvania's 2nd and 3. And again, they have to pass. And there it is. It's overthrown. Maybe a little late there. Let's go down to Joel D. Smith.
This time we're here with Maryland's coach for next year for the Big 33, Damian Powell. It's been tough scoring out here. What can you do differently, you think, next year?
Just be aggressive, and come back at it. We have a lot of pride over the Maryland side. We put it on for our state. So we're going to come back next year, make sure we do everything the right way, and just be aggressive.
I've talked to some of the folks on the Maryland sidelines, Maryland fans. They want to get a few more of the big guys in this game. Can you work towards that for next year?
Oh, we definitely are, man. We're going to put it on for the state of Maryland, and I'm asking all my Maryland folks to stand up. Let's get this Big 33 going, man, and let's come out and perform for our state.
All right, if you're a junior out there, you want to get some revenge off of what looks like a loss to Pennsylvania this year, now's the time to step up, right, Coach?
Absolutely. It's time right now. The time is now.
Yeah, you're going to get that.
Right, we'll see what happens. Guys, back to you. We'll see him next year.
That was all over.
Thanks, Joel D. Yeah, that was an obvious pass interference right there, gentlemen.
Is that our first one all day, I think?
It might have been.
Yeah, I don't know what was up with that. That was just bad.
That was a wheel route down the sideline by Aaron Young there.
Yeah.
He peeps the flat route and then takes up the sideline. And I think he was matched up on a linebacker, which is a matchup that Aaron Young should win 10 times out of 10.
And this late in the game, the referees are not happy to throw flags. It's got to be pretty blatant, and that one was pretty blatant.
He had to throw that one on Franklin. Ooh. I don't think he knew where the ball was.
So minute 30 left in this 62nd annual Big 33 All-Star Game. Pennsylvania sitting on a 21-0 lead. They have the football. They would love to wind up the game in that circumstance. Here's the run around the right side. Maryland comes up to meet it. And we need to calm down on the field. Let's everybody calm down. Let's get this final minute 12 played. This has been one thing today that nobody's been happy about. The chippiness and it's just unnecessary.
I'll tell you what, I'm a little biased towards tight ends, but Hayden Rucci, 33, is as physical as they come at the tight end position.
Yeah, I've been impressed with him today. And to answer your question about playing tight end in a wishbone, no passes.
No passes.
No. My job was chasing middle linebackers, one of whom happened to be Lawrence Taylor. So it was a long year.
Yeah, you didn't want to catch him either.
No.
I was about the exact opposite kind of tight end that Hayden Rucci is. They used to take me out on the running plays.
Hey, at least you're honest, right? Okay, that's Patrick Garwo. As the clock winds down, we're inside 30 seconds now. And I don't think either side is going to stop it. I think we are at the end of the Big 33 as the clock runs down, 20 seconds. Pennsylvania's going to win this one 21-0 and get revenge for Maryland's upset victory last year. And you have to be impressed with what Pennsylvania did today. Tip your cap to Maryland. They showed up. They played hard. But it was Pennsylvania's day. 21-0, the final score here in the Big 33 game. Joel D. Smith is down on the field. Gentlemen, as we wait for Joel D., give me some impressions of this ball game.
I think the Pennsylvania team came out, clicked on all cylinders on offense. Kane Everson gave the offense new life. And those Pennsylvania wide receivers just could not be covered. Youssef Perry, Gibson, Burnett, they were just flying around the field today.
Doug, your thoughts?
The real plus for Maryland was they came up here, they played really well, they got beat in some really tough situations, just tremendous catches by wide receivers, quarterback scrambling and running all over the place. I was very impressed with Maryland's defensive front. You know, the linebackers and the down guys, they played great. The offensive line, you know, when you go against Pennsylvania's offensive line, your defense, you know you're going to get blocked. And the same thing, the offensive line did a good job at blocking Pennsylvania's defensive linemen. So, different kind of game. Both teams played really hard. You know, as we talked a little bit about the chippiness stuff, I haven't seen it before in a Big 33 game.
I never have either.
Yeah, so I'm hoping it's a one-time deal.
Now, the critics in Maryland are going to say, are we ever going to be competitive with Pennsylvania?
We've been. We won 2 out of the last 5.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just, you know, and we played well enough at times to make it a game today. But, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, Pennsylvania leans on greatness. You know, they've been playing football up here well and forever.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, Maryland's still, you know, new to the game, really getting better, but they're getting better every year, you know?
And it was 21-0, but it felt a lot closer than that throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
It really did, but there's an awful lot to be impressed with on the Pennsylvania side. The quarterback play was superb. We got more going on there. I tell you what, let's do. Why don't we take a break and let's regroup here, and we'll figure out where we're going from here. Pennsylvania defeats Maryland 21-0.
Welcome back, everybody. 21-0, the final. Penn State, the Penn team from Pennsylvania gets the win here in the Big 33. Some of your guys are going to Penn State, that's for sure. Let's clean something up real quick. A couple scuffles here, even later. It looks like that's over now.
That's unfortunate. I mean, an all-star game, you don't want that to happen. But you know what? Move on. We got it separated.
Certainly so. No one looks hurt. It's going to be all right. As for this game, how'd you do it? 21-0.
Well, you know, we got our athletes involved, and that's what we've talked about all week. And we have some special playmakers at the receiver spot. I thought our quarterback did a great job getting them the ball. And, you know, let's not forget about our defense. They're stellar today.
The inside play of the defense on both sides, they seem to just blow up those lines, and it came down to the quarterbacks to make some plays.
Absolutely. You know, running yards were tough. You know, 2-3 yards was a grind in there. Somebody had to hit some plays over the top.
Was this fun for you, Coach, getting the win again?
Yeah, these guys are special. I mean, there was a lot of talent on this football field.
Very good. Congratulations
Thank
again.
you.
All right.
Absolutely.
We'll see you down the road. Guys, we'll send it back to you, Bruce.
All right, thank you, Joel D. And we'll be back with more of the post-game show, the Big 33, right after this. Stick around.
Introducing Stir. It's a new way to watch TV for free. It's live local news, it's live sports, it's movies, TV shows, cult favorites, the latest viral videos, and more. Just go to the App Store and download Stir to unlock a free lineup of TV channels and video on-demand programming, all stirred up into one easy-to-use app. It's free TV, anytime, anywhere.
We develop quality citizens who keep our core, our country, and our communities side by side on the winning side. Not for glory, but for honor. For a code that isn't written or spoken, but lived. It's what we do. It's who we are. It's the battle cry of our fighting spirit. Battles won. See all the battles Marines fight to win at marines.com.
What if we told you that Stadium brings you free premium sports 24 hours a day, 365 days a year with exclusive live college games. Maybe the play of the day in college football. Daily studio shows.
This is the pinnacle of the sport. If you don't want to fight, don't come here.
Highlights and full game replays sent to all your favorite platforms. Modern, personalized, and built for you, the viewer. A new way to watch sports.
Did you know all electronics must be recycled? It's the law. But more importantly, it's the right thing to do.
At the Recycling Center, Dauphin County residents can recycle older broken TVs, computers, cell phones, laptops, major appliances, even paper.
The Recycling Center is conveniently located on Cameron Street in Harrisburg. It makes recycling fast, safe, and simple.
Stop by the Dauphin County Recycling Center today and help us recycle the right way.
21-0 the final here in the Big 33. Pennsylvania takes it, but performance player of the game right here. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
What was it like out there? We see everybody hitting, really moving real fast. As a player, what was it like?
It was a fast game, fast tempo. Everybody D1 athletes, so we just had to keep up with that. And just the physicality of the Pennsylvania team, we had to match that and surpass that, but it didn't turn out so well.
What does this mean to you? Take a look down at that trophy right there. Player of the game. I know you wanted to win, but this is pretty nice too.
It feels good. Just wish I came out the dub, but now I feel I'm going to have a better season. I just want to praise God and everything.
All right, Mr. Solomon, a great game to you. Congratulations. We'll be back in just a little bit. Back on the field. For now, we'll send it back to you, Bruce.
One of the things that Joel D was discussing, guys, down in the field with the coaches and the players was the scuffling, especially at the end of the game. And, Doug, this is aimed at you. Administratively, does the Big 33 need to do something about this?
This will serve as an example. You won't see this again. It's never happened before, and I hope that's not the direction that the players that we are producing today go in. I mean, but a lot will be said next year before the game, and I think we'll have automatic injection. You do something like that in this game, you're out.
Now, Adam, you're closer to your playing days than Doug. Doug, of course, was a long time. I'm not making a joke there, but I mean, Doug was a long time coach. As a younger guy, the youngest guy in this booth, what's your reaction to what we saw out there?
It's rare. I'm surprised we saw it, but you want this game to be competitive. But there's definitely a fine line between competitive and unnecessary punches and hits being thrown. So I think there'll definitely be something done about it and something said about it. But at the end of the day, these players have to understand that there will be an absolute no-tolerance policy of that. I've seen guys who are some of the best players on the team get kicked off teams for doing things like that.
So no tolerance is where they need to go with this?
I believe so, yep.
Okay, all right. It takes away because, guys, we did see some pretty good football today.
We saw great football today, and the problem was you just threw a little covered dirt over it by just not playing the game the right way. I mean, there was guys, as the coach from Pennsylvania said, there was a lot of talent on that field. They really played well.
Let's go downstairs to Joel D. Smith. Joel D.
Hey, here with Coach Ripley now right after the game. Not the result you wanted, 21-0, but it felt closer than that, really.
Yeah, we were talking about it on the sideline. Take away the 4 plays. It's a great football game. We think we probably held them to 50 yards rushing. They have some good running backs. They talked about the big up front. What I was just telling another lady is this is a great football team. What's sad about is what happened on the field with the scuffles. That's not who this Maryland team was. All week they were together as a team. They loved each other. They took care of each other. And again, just a couple things didn't work out today, and it was frustrating. But again, they are great young men from Maryland.
We're not going to think about that when we look back on this game. But is there anything that needs to change to maybe get that out of this game?
I think the rules need to be looked at again. I think the clock running on incomplete passes. I think we need to play high school rules. We at times we decided we were going to do special rules, but we need to play high school football rules. And the officials were not that good today, and that's the truth.
Not what you were looking for. Okay, still a good experience for you overall all week?
It's the Buddies program. Gary does a great job. Maryland wants to be part of this year after year. Hersh's so beautiful. Our training staff, we love this. This is just a bump in the road. We'll rebound from this next year, bring up the best team we can. I said last night at the assembly, it starts tomorrow morning. We start ready.
All right, hey. You missed by a couple plays, but you guys played great. All right, thanks for being here. All right, thanks, Scott. Back to you guys.
Joel D., before we say goodbye, I want to thank you for a yeoman-like effort down there on the sidelines. I hope you had a good time.
Hey, we had a great time here. Love covering some of these guys and love catching up with the best from Maryland and Pennsylvania. We have one more guy coming your way if you want him, though.
We'll be right back.
All right, we'll see you. $21-0 is the final of the Big 33 this year. Sweet revenge for Team PA. And here right now, Yosef Terry. Were you thinking about revenge? How much of this talk this week was about getting back to a win?
It was just all about bringing it back to PA. We were trying to get a win. That's what we did. Came out with the win.
Seems like they just trusted you guys on the outside. Throw it up and we're going to get it. Is it that simple sometimes?
That's simple. Give me the ball. We're going to do big things.
All right, let's see what you ended up getting. Talking about a big thing right there. Player of the game. You come out to a game like this, you want the W, or the dub as you might say, but then you get this as well. How sweet is this thing?
I mean, it felt great. I'm glad I was able to finish my high school career with winning MVP of this game. It means a lot to me.
Playing in this game, some of the guys going to big schools like Baylor in the past have not been able to do it because of the time. The time changed. Did that help you make your decision to play here?
I mean, I guess, yeah, it did. It made me do that, yeah.
Have you thought about the Big 33 in the past? Was this a goal of yours? Did you hear about the history of it?
No doubt. This was my plan. I wanted to come here and finish the game, finish my high school career, and do big things in the next level. So I had to finish this game, win MVP.
We're never going to forget this, and hopefully we'll see some big plays out of you at Baylor, all right?
No doubt, no doubt.
Congratulations, man. Go celebrate. Yosef, man, he had a game, and he looked like a college player playing with high school kids, didn't he?
He really, really did. And listen, go take a knee and get some fluids. You had a tough day.
All right, I got you.
All right. Guys, 21-0 the final, Pennsylvania over Maryland. We've got some highlights we're going to queue up in just a minute, but the story of this game, Adam, I'm going to start with you, isn't real hard to tell. I mean, Pennsylvania imposed their will.
You can see it on the stat sheet. Pennsylvania with 330-some yards of offense, Maryland with about 140, and that was the difference in the game, just not being able to move the ball. Maryland struggling passing, struggling throwing. And Pennsylvania having a good showing by Kane Everson. He probably thinks he got snubbed on the Player of the Game award, but
I would have voted for him.
Kane Everson and Yusef Terry put on a show for us today.
Now, Doug, on the Maryland side, there is reason for optimism. I mean, you don't want to get beat 21-0, but they held their own.
They really did. When you looked at the rushing yardage inside for Pennsylvania, there was none. You know, and you know, as we said before, hats off to the people that win. It always goes that way. But I'm proud of how Maryland played. I think we'll get the little scuffle stuff solved by ejection rules next year, and they'll know it coming in so they don't make that mistake. I just think it was a good day.
Let's take a look at some highlights of today's game. Pennsylvania struck first in this one back in the first quarter, but not before Maryland, Doug, came out and made some noise.
Well, Wandy's going to make an impact in the Ivy League going to Yale. Yale's been doing a great job at recruiting. I think they just won the national championship in lacrosse.
And Pennsylvania answers in a hurry.
Yep, there he goes.
Kane Everson rolling to his left. That's where he feels the most comfortable, and Yusef Terry going up and making a play.
He had two guys right there, you know, so it wasn't that they broke open. The coverage was good. Great play by Alshamer. Wonderful play.
But Maryland can't turn it into anything, and Pennsylvania is able to do this.
An awesome play call by Mark Lyons, a trickeration in the red zone.
That's what happened. And it was a third down play, too. That was big.
There's the interception by Tyke Smith. We talked about him.
Yeah, we did.
All day, it feels like, and he is a heck of a player.
Tyke can make you move, you know, make you tackle air.
Yeah, he's got return ability as well, not just being a DB. He can play all over the field.
We returned that one punt up the sideline was impressive.
And then we started seeing amazing things happen. There's an interception for Maryland, though, but some amazing receptions by Pennsylvania in the second half. Here's one of them. How in the world?
Burnett, that thing just fell in his lap. It's amazing. But still, the concentration to be able to track that ball in the air with two guys in front of you.
And then here's another one down at the goal line just about, and came down with that one as well.
Yeah, it's William Gibson. He had a really good day as well, and we saw him go give the ball to the kid after his touchdown.
Best moment today.
Yeah, you got great players, but more than that, this game attracts a certain kind of kid too. And we had good kids on both sides of the ball today.
So go ahead.
This game is, you know, when you look at all the people that do so much work on the Big 33 staff, you got Nicole, you got Gump, you got Gary, you got the Pennsylvania State Football Coaches Association. There are literally hundreds and hundreds of people.
You also had an unexpected vacuum to fill when the executive director passed away last year. You had to move fast, and it looks like they made some positive moves in that direction.
Well, there's been some real transition in the game. It used to be run by the Big 33 Foundation. It's now run by the State Coaches Association in Maryland and Pennsylvania, and so that's been a big plus for everybody.
Well, Adam, it was your first time doing some play-by-play on football. I think you had a pretty good time, huh?
This was fun. You always want to be playing, but calling the game isn't too bad either.
It's the next best thing, right?
It's pretty fun, yeah.
Doug, final thoughts?
Well, I'm looking forward, as soon as one game ends, you look forward to the next one because it's a thrill to come up here, visit with our Pennsylvania friends and the buddy thing as they talk. Just one thing after another. It's a great way to end the football year. I think the Memorial Day venue is a winner. I think it's good.
I think we can all agree Memorial Day is the way to go.
Definitely. This is a great turnout crowd-wise today, too.
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't play in the game because of it, and then we had the guest in the second half that couldn't play in the game because of it. This is a practical move that they have to make.
Absolutely. And what they do all week as well is we talked about it a little bit, but, I mean, even having the host families, these Pennsylvania players stay with families, Maryland as well, all week and get to know these families and their kids and the buddy program, and they do a great job of making this an experience to not just make these guys better football players, but also better men moving forward.
Absolutely. We want to thank our producer, Pete Ferraro, sitting to my right. Didn't make a sound all day, so we appreciate that. Joel D. Smith down on the sidelines doing a great job. Adam and Doug, it was my pleasure to spend some time with you today.
Thanks, Bruce.
21-0 the final in the Big 33. For all of us, I'm Bruce Cunningham. Thanks for being with us. Goodbye, everybody.
Bring up This has been the Big 33 Football Classic, brought to you by Toyota, Let's Go Places, Jiffy Lube, and by LifeBridge Health Sports Medicine, where we care bravely every day.